Live from the Toadhop Network studios.
In Hollywood, this is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
A place of our own without a lot of parents peering down our backs.
Radio worth watching.
That's fine.
Is it fine?
You know what? It was really loud in my ear.
Yeah, okay, so let's just talk over the intro. That's very nice. Oh, you're here for 10 shows, and all of a sudden...
I'm going to throw this water bottle in your face.
Good. That'll show some action.
The point is,
it is
we
the
are
Schmoes
loud
Know
on
Podcast.
everybody's ears. Right
That's right. It is the Schmoes Know Podcast. The gang is back together again. Mark Ellis has decided to join us this week, which is really nice.
This week, but for how long? Tune in next week.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, everybody, it's the Schmoes Know Podcast. We are back and rolling, coming off of a very, very fun show last week, and one of our best because Mark wasn't here.
Good to be back with you guys.
Oh, nice to see you. Nice to see
Feeling
you.
the love in the room.
Don't
you guys did
ever
a
leave
bang-up,
again.
fantastic job.
Thank you.
Tiffany looked a little, I don't want to say not at home, but
Jealous?
Tiffany had to come over because Maria Menounos was sitting in that seat,
I know.
right? And so she got relegated
I
to
know.
the Mark Ellis position, which, of course, you put the person here who's really funny and charming. It's a lot of pressure.
It was funny.
No, it's like when you were in high school and the lunch tables that you sat at. When you're in a different spot, you just feel weird.
It was funny, though, because you could hear, it was weird. Like, I thought I was going to know what she was predicting, what she was going to say.
Yeah.
I heard some of it, and she's like, I hate it. I'm like, what? And she said, I hate Anne Hathaway again. I was like, why do you keep saying that about Anne Hathaway?
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Right, yeah.
You guys are liars.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys, it's the Schmoes Know Podcast. This is going to be a fun show tonight. We have the big thing that I can't wait for, though, too, is at 9 o'clock. Mayimbe from Latino-Review is going to be calling in. We're going to talk about this Nolan thing.
Breaking stories, man. A couple weeks ago, he was telling us the latest with Star Wars. Now he's telling us the latest with our comic book heroes. And the guy he's full of scoops. He's like Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
He's so full of scoops.
Oh, my God.
Thank you. I worked on that one for 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's very good. That's
Yeah,
good.
31 flavors of stories.
What I
Wow.
want to do, though, is
I take back saying never leave again.
Well, I want to talk to this guy, though, about because there's the Planet Hulk thing that he broke a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. They debunked it, and then they said now that Bale isn't attached to this when he reported. So I want to see how much it's just the same thing where
But
we've
it's
also
like
heard
exactly the
J.J.
same with
Abrams.
the Avengers, where they were like, it's not the Skrulls,
Right.
they're the villain, and then it was, and so it's like, okay, when are they ever going to say, "Yep, he was right"?
Right.
If
Even
the great
he
Katie
is.
Sackhoff taught us anything, it's that as soon as reps deny something, that's when it becomes
Yeah.
true. So we'll ask him about that. We have a lot of phone calls coming in tonight. This is going to be
Yeah,
like
we
the
do.
Ellis household a week before prom when I was in high school. There's a lot of calls going in and out, last minute stuff happening.
Yeah.
Who knows if it's going to
I
work
don't
out.
know where your head is at tonight. I'm kind
excited.
of confused.
Well, it's going to be cool. His head's going to be interviewing some of the directors from South by
Yeah.
Southwest.
It's true.
I'm talking to big time people. Their film is in a festival. South by Southwest is one of the most prestigious film festivals. We have multiple directors of different movies calling in.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have again, because that's something that all of us is to be interesting to find out what it's like to have a film in the festival. And another thing too is one of the directors actually started off on YouTube, which was kind of cool too. That has a YouTube channel, a successful channel. So it'd be cool to kind of hear how you go from doing a YouTube channel to doing an actual movie, which we will never do.
I don't want to make that leap. I work.
Well, and two of them were like funded from Kickstarter. What was the other one where it's like fans just give money to them to make it happen, which is
Right.
crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I do want to take that step.
That's a great concept.
We
You
can
actually
develop
have
that.
to
it's true.
follow through, though, once you
hey,
get the
Schmoes
money.
fans, Christian and I are making a big budget movie. Go ahead and send us your checks.
Yeah, right. The
Just
cartoon-
make sure that you put Tiffany Smith on the checks, because I'll make sure that they get them.
That's right. And here's some cool stuff. We're going to get into the news here in a second because Kenny's got some stuff he's been working on.
Yeah.
You can always see Kenny's prep stuff, by the way, on Schmo Plus. If you go to youtube.com/Schmo Plus, you can see Kenny does these really funny prep things right beforehand. Today it was kind of lackluster.
That's
but,
because I
yeah, sorry.
hijacked him.
I've been injured all week, and I couldn't move around and do funny hijinks.
Yeah, I don't.
Stuck to a chair.
The gout means nothing to me. I
Physical
wanna
comedy
see,
is why you tune in. To
It's
see
not
Kenny
confirmed
Napzok.
to be gout or diabetes yet.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Well, if it's a gout, I feel bad. The other one. All right. So.
I'd laugh either way. I got to be dead honest with you. Anything you have on WebMD, I'm laughing.
All right, but what we need from you guys is tweet in at Schmoes Know and on Facebook as well. Tonight we're going to be giving away actually a couple prizes. The one is that we talked on our Facebook page. We're going to give away a Man of Steel poster tonight. The easy way, you still have a little bit of time left to do this. All you got to do is go to the iTunes page on the Schmoes Know Toadhop movies and just leave a comment, what you like about the podcast. We're going to check right before the end of the show. We'll announce a winner. You will win a Man of Steel poster. Also, we're giving away an Oblivion t-shirt courtesy of Universal. and the upcoming Tom Cruise movie.
That was
coming
nice of him. Here's a T-shirt that celebrates the end of Earth as we know it, and hopefully Tom Cruise can save it. He's done it before. Can he do it again? Find out in late April.
Well, someone who's done it before and will do it again. That's Kenny Napzok with the news. You ready, Johnny Ice?
He is. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines, sponsored by Imperial Beer. From our friend Mayimbe at Latino-Review, the big news of the week has Fanboy Nation all abuzz. The website is reporting, from a rooftop, mind you, that Warner Brothers' Justice League project will now involve, possibly, Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, Christian Bale, Henry Cavill, even screenwriter David S. Goyer, in a massive retooling of the struggling project. Nolan is said to now be in charge of the DC Universe at Warner Brothers, if true, and Mayimbe will bet a night of bottle service in the VIP lounge on it. This sets up a massive Summer of Nerd in 2015 with the Avengers, Star Wars, and a Bale, Nolan, Cavill Justice League duking it out in theaters for your comic book allowance money. Coming up at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on this podcast, Mayimbe himself will be calling into the show to talk about yet another blockbuster news scoop. And speaking of that little Star Wars project, Carrie Fisher, who's still bikini, provided the sexual awakening for an entire generation of young boys. Let it slip this week that she will be returning to Episode 7 as Princess Leia Organa Solo. But in an interview with Bloomberg Business Week, George Lucas himself said that Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and Harrison Ford have already been signed or were in the final stages of negotiation, adding, I think they want to announce that some big whoop-de-doo, but we're negotiating with them. I won't say whether the negotiations were successful or not, which just proves that George can't even write good interview dialogue. Well, it's not quite Episode 7, but just as pleasantly shocking is the news that Harrison Ford has joined the ever-growing cast of Anchorman 2. Ford will play a Brokaw-like legendary newscaster. The cast already has returning favorites Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, David Koechner, Christina Applegate, alongside newcomers Kristen Wiig, John C. Reilly, James Marsden, and anyone who has done anything funny on TV and film in the last 10 years. The project starts shooting later this month. DreamWorks is heading into Sherwood Forest with their take on the Robin Hood story with Merry Men. The potential franchise project is designed to be more of an ensemble piece about Team Robin Hood, centered around a revenge-based storyline. Think Ocean's 11 in tights. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was the pitch. Active Valve director Scott Wall will be directing. One of the project's executive producers, Toby Asher, will be a guest on the Schmoes Know podcast March 21st. Steven Spielberg, director of Always, The Sugarland Express, and an episode of Marcus Welby, M.D., has picked up the pieces of Stanley Kubrick's passion project about the life of Napoleon Bonaparte. Kubrick had originally penned a feature-length script based on his own extensive research in 1961, but eventually abandoned the project to make sure Tom Cruise could appear in an on-screen orgy. Spielberg, though, has plans to turn the project into a mini-series and reach for a comment HBO said, but it's not about World War II pass. Finally, The Hobbit, an unexpected journey past the $1 billion box office mark this week. The Hobbit hit the coveted mark thanks in large part to a $37 million opening stretch in China, where the title of the movie is translated to The Hobbit Man Who Should Have Stayed Indoors to Wash Dishes and Not Question Authority. I'm Ken Napzok, and those were your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by Imperial Beer, a Costa Rican lager from NA Breweries.
Johnny, let's go right into a new music cue.
Oh,
the one I sent you earlier today.
Cue to cue.
Because there's a reason for this cue. You'll know once the music starts.
I know what it is. I'm trying to build anticipation.
I know you
while
do,
our engineer is scrambling because he's got a cute dog. He thinks he can just nap on the job.
You know what that music means. It's time for a fantasy draft update. All right, so here's the thing. Kenny had reported it on the news here. Now, one of the things, though, is Carrie Fisher, yes, she said yes, but then her publicist went and said she was joking. She was joking. She's not confirming anything.
She was very funny in such films as Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the funny thing is now,
Sally.
Now they go ahead and they say, now George Lucas says they're all signed on.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Oh, but I think they wanted to announce it under something special.
So the bottom line
ain't
is
my movies anymore.
This is what we're saying. I think it's no joke, and everyone can pretty much say Harrison Ford confirmed, right. Carrie Fisher confirmed, Luke confirmed. So here is
Mark
right now.
Hamill's his name.
Luke, come on, it's Luke.
Come on, guys.
Fine, Sushi Girl. So we have now. We're ready to announce this. I would say
if you're calling it,
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. So here's the thing. I want to get the worst. I want to get the worst part out of the way. ShoesyPants has a point.
That's right.
ShoesyPants is now at 1-0, and
as does my team, Bob Fett and the Cloud City Rollers.
Stupid.
Has a point for Mr. Harrison Ford.
And Team Tatooine also has a point, and that would be Josh McCouga. So right now,
it's I
I apologize. I heart Tatooines.
Much more
I
Well,
really
is
feel
the-
like until they've signed on the dotted line.
Come on, stop it. These three, come on, stop. And
I
now
think
I'm
I
waiting-
feel like if someone backs out, you guys get like docked 2 points for
What's up?
taking this point early.
It would be my
I mean,
fault.
I would,
'cause I'm
I would
announcing
take
it.
that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No,
I'll risk that.
You are just screwed.
Shut
You're
up.
screwed.
Just shut up.
Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, McCooch.
I tweeted at Grantland because they have basically a similar thing kind of going on. It's not a fantasy draft, but they keep doing these Star Wars updates. And I was like, check out the Schmoes fantasy draft. And one of the dudes from Grantland texted back. He's like, we're pissed you thought of this before us.
Oh, buddy.
Really?
That's awesome.
We beat Bill Simmons?
We beat Bill
Oh,
Simmons.
that's a feather in our
Nice.
cap.
I
I
love
love
it.
We gotta get him on the
Simmons.
podcast.
You
He
got
owes us
it,
a
yeah.
podcast appearance now that we beat him to a fantasy
We're gonna
draft
work on
idea.
that.
Yeah. All right. So
Absolutely.
that's the news. The question is now who will be next? I'm hoping it's Anthony Daniels will be announced next.
Played C-3PO.
I
Kenny
don't-
Baker. There was R2-D2.
My prediction, I think John Williams is getting announced next. That's my
Now,
that's
why
my
would you
prediction.
say it like that, Christian Harloff?
Because I don't want Riley to get a point. I would love for John Williams to
Yeah.
score.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
God
yeah.
forbid Riley gets a point. Let's just have a new guy come in.
No,
and
because
duck
he-
Star
he'll-
Wars.
I was
He's-
pushing for Giantino, but he just got booked for what is it called? Jupiter something or
Yeah, there's
other.
computers now. They can do 5
You
movies
know,
at a time.
these composers, they just
Yeah.
come into a studio, they move their arms fast a couple times, and they're out. They
Yeah,
can do
but
tons
I
of
feel like if
projects.
it's Star Wars, he's gonna be. That's all he's gonna
Focus.
do.
Well,
He
here's
should
a question for Schmoville now. The question is now, do you think out of the 3 people that just got a point, Josh McCouga, Mark Ellis, or ShoesyPants, do any one of these 3, do you think that they will win the entire draft? Go ahead and tweet in at Schmoes Know or Facebook. Yes.
And you can check out the entire team rosters, I believe, on our website right now.
Yeah, you can. Mark Riley Roundtable, Mark Riley, Facting Factorson had put up a column a little while ago, and you can see the full teams of who we have and all that stuff. So go ahead and check that out. And we should get, Kenny, what time's our first call?
8:15, and it's 8:13 now, Christian. Could this
8:13.
be them?
There's nobody on there right now. So, all right, let's get into.
It's like the prom. You thought you were gonna get called to get asked, and you didn't.
That's literally what I did for prom. I called
that a
like
call from
5
me?
girls, and I'm just waiting for the phone to erupt. Who's calling me back first? It happened. I went to prom. 2 hot chicks. Thank you.
Let's talk about one of these stories.
That's a
then.
lie.
Let's talk. I mean, because again, we're going to get into all the Nolan. We got 2 calls here, so
Yeah.
I'm going to try to see who's our first guest.
Katie Graham and Andrew Matthews.
All right. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Mike from Olympia.
Hey, Mike. What's going on?
Oh, it's going good. How about you?
Good. What's up?
I'm just listening to the podcast.
You got
and
greeting
I
tennis
was
going on right
agreeing-
now.
What? I'm sorry, what?
No. Go
Greeting
ahead.
tennis, Matt. What is your comment, your question for Schmoville?
I didn't. What do you think is going to be the biggest box office draw this weekend?
That's a great question. Oz. It's got to be
That's how you
Oz.
do it. You're going. Yeah, we're going
It's
back
Oz.
to the magical land of Oz.
Yes, thanks for the call, man. Yeah, you got to figure that Oz is. Kenny, this is going to be tough. We got to try to get in touch with what's this because
We
no way.
got people
All right.
calling in. Just take the call. If we.
All right, I don't want to hang up on everybody. Like, hey, you're in Schmoville.
fine.
Who do we got? Nobody. Perfect. I can't keep doing this. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
You keep going back to the well.
You got Terrence from the Bronx.
Hey, Terrence. What do you
What's
got?
happening, man?
What's going on?
I want to talk about the Christopher Nolan thing, about him taking over the Justice League franchise.
You know what, Terrence? We're gonna have El Mayimbe, the guy who broke the story, on a little bit. So, is there something that you, in general, you want us to ask him, or do you have an opinion on it? What's your take?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, since I heard a lot of rumors that it's supposed to be coming out in 2015, I want to know, when are they actually going to start production on it?
Okay,
I
that's good
love
news.
the way Terrence
Yeah.
is playing ball. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and assume this is true.
Yeah, I mean, why
and let's
wouldn't
go
you?
ahead and
Yeah.
get some release dates. Let's get some tickets on
Yeah.
sale.
Sure.
Let's
Yeah,
go
you
to
gotta
this
have-
movie.
you
2
gotta
years
have
in
hope.
advance.
Yeah, it's true. All right,
I'm
Terrence.
with you, T.
Terrence Page, check him out on YouTube, guys. He's great. Thanks a lot, dude. All right, let's see. I'm taking one more of these, and then we're just going to go to a new
You
format.
can't stop clicking that button.
I can't. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Got James from Kansas.
Hey, James, what's going on, man? So what do you got?
Want to talk about the biggest news of the week
Howard the Duck remake.
about the Nolan thing.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
I'm wondering about the Christian Bale thing, if that is true.
Yeah, I will definitely. That's one of the questions we're going to ask El Mayimbe
and let's
for
ask
sure.
James from Kansas on this. James, would you be excited to see Christian Bale back, or do you think they should do a new Batman? What's your take?
I think a new Batman, how Dark Knight Rises ended, I think if they bring back Bale for Batman, I think it'll be a big mistake. So
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And here's sorry. Go. I want to hear finish. I know I come up, but
you can't help yourself.
There's two sides. No, there's two sides on it for sure. There's a side of a lot of people don't want to see Bale back because it'll kind of taint what happened in the Nolan franchise.
Yeah.
For me, and I think that Mayimbe said this as well too in his take, is that we don't know how many years it's going to be afterwards when it's over, and now Superman needs his help and comes back in, and Nolan is producing it, so the tone, we don't know what kind of tone we have in Man of Steel.
Yeah, look, this is the same world where Superman and Batman are going to be teaming up, so I'm pretty sure you can write in a wrinkle to where he comes back to the States eventually. Pretty sure you can figure that out.
Yeah.
I think a better idea would be to have Jordan Levitt kind of take over. So I think Batman's done.
That's
interesting. I know that'd be probably.
But again, it depends on how much.
Good thing to talk about. Thanks for the call, dude.
It really depends on how much time passes. For me,
I'm gonna try another one of these calls.
I could care less. It could be a week later. Michael Caine could.
Well,
be
I'm saying
staying in
if
his
it's
hotel.
a week later, I don't want it to be Joseph Gordon.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Yeah, man, you got Anthony from Miami, Florida.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey guys, it's not really a question. I'm just calling in to thank you guys.
Yeah, I like
you
these.
guys probably don't remember me, but back in December I won the Skyfall poster and never got to call in to thank you guys.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just calling in to thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Of course, man. Thank you for listening, and thank you for even for the fact that you wanted a Skyfall poster in general. I really appreciate it, man. Thank
I would
you very
like
much.
to thank the intern that actually took that poster to FedEx and shipped it off. Who? Oh no, that was me.
That
so
was
you're
you.
welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to get to these directors today because it's
Christian,
a little too tough.
we know Schmoeville.
We have all these
what I'm
calls
saying
coming
is
in.
that
I love how fast you've given up on this. You're like,
No,
Do you know how many?
he answered
one
like
call,
5 calls.
no,
I got all
2
these
call,
calls coming in.
no.
I don't know who's who because we don't have any numbers for these fucking people. I'm not doing
Okay,
it.
I'm
here's
laughing
what,
because
doing it.
you after 2 calls you were like, I'm done.
The board has been lighting up here.
Christian looks like one of those girls on roller skates in the 1920s, just running around,
It is what it's
plugging
like.
stuff in.
I got all these boards. I'm like, what's the number? I don't know. I gotta guess. I'm like taking all these
Now,
fucking
look,
calls.
the
There's no structure
point
to it.
I was going to make is that we can level with Schmoeville. Is that look, there's this festival called South by Southwest. There's a lot of movies. There's a lot of directors. They're all hanging out there. Basically, what you do at this festival is you go out in Austin and you get hammered and you talk about how great your movie was. So they were going to call in. We were going to have them. But you all know how that works out. You have a girl you're supposed to call sometime. You have a boy that's on the line that's waiting for Tiffany Smith to call. You have a couple cocktails. Something else happens. They didn't call.
Yeah.
Maybe they call. We can't answer it. Who gives a shit? We're the Schmoes.
That's right.
This is the Schmoes Know Movies podcast. We don't need
You
guests.
are so worked
wow,
up.
you are getting upset.
Wowza.
Kenny, here's what I think we should do.
How was that upset? That was
I just said
passionate.
worked up.
You know what? I meant
Worked
passion.
up.
I meant
Jesus.
passion. I apologize.
I'm going back to
Face-
Nashville. We
Face
have
is
you
red.
guys.
We need to figure out if we just send him an email or something to whoever.
We've been working on that all day, but McCougar's
Yeah,
on
we're
that.
gonna.
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff you talk about during the break, guys.
No.
Let's talk about some exciting
I want
film news.
I want, but listen. That's the thing is, I want Schmoeville to be able to see this type of stuff. I want him to be on the inside with
We
us.
just
too.
told him.
All right,
That's what I did when I was apparently getting
What
upset.
kind of noise was
and
that?
Not passionate.
The gas? Holy shit!
That was the noise that I make. Sometimes I make weird noises.
No, that was
Oh.
a weird. That was like a nursing home Ovaltine fart right
Yeah.
there. That thing just like that thing just kind of crept out of nowhere. It's good to have you back, Mark. Thanks for coming back.
I
to the
mean,
podcast.
I think I might have like snotted on myself.
I don't know if Shusey got more excited when you said you made the word noises or when Mark said you farted. I don't know which one of those two. Either one, he got excited.
I want to keep. Look, there's a lot of news. There's a lot of news this week.
Yeah, let's get back. Let's get back.
I'm going to throw one into. I'm going to cast the die real quick because we're going to be talking a lot about the DC Nolan news at the 9 o'clock hour when El Mayimbe calls in. This Robin Hood thing intrigues me because Ridley Scott went and made a cool Robin Hood movie in 2009, but it was like the setup for Robin Hood, and
he was so old.
Yeah,
but then it's
I'm with you. I didn't think it was a good
so
movie.
weird.
The last shot of that movie is literally him walking into the woods with the merry men. Like, okay, well, let's go do the thing that everybody knows we're famous for.
Yeah.
So where's that movie?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to see that movie.
Well, I just again like the Ridley Scott thing. I wanted it to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm curious about this one. I think an animation wise, I mean, it could be what we wanted Brave to be.
I just feel like there's been a lot of Robin Hood remakes quickly.
Yeah,
like it hasn't been like a long pause
No, it's been
between any
tough.
of them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to see-
Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves was great. The
Yeah.
animated Disney one was just mind-blowing fantastic.
Yeah.
Still get emotional.
Taking a crack here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Nick from Boston.
Hey, Nick, what's up? What do you got?
Just a quick comment, real quick.
Yeah.
Great job on the Reviewers Award this year, guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, man.
Nick.
And just for the Star Wars thing, how big of a role do you want the original 3 to have? Do you think it'd be too overbearing if they had too big of a role?
Yeah.
Do you want them to have a small cameo? What's your take on that?
I've always wanted to know what a Jedi nursing home looks like. And I think it should be them, like, playing bingo, rolling around like Luke cheats at bingo, like he's, going to the dark side a little bit. I think they should be...
I would love to see Han and Chewie just, like, they've been married for years now. What's his name? Han and Leia. So Han and Chewie just watching games, pissed off,
Chewie is so sick of Leia by now.
Yeah.
He's like, look, by the way, Han, when you got drunk and passed out, I had a run with that. When you were in Carbonite...
She's still making me pee outside, dude. so I mean, like, no, honestly though, in all seriousness, you got to have them. I like the rumors that we're talking about. This is going to be a story in the future here that it's all about the kids and going back to the roots of the, how it's all about family and the twins turning on one another. I hope it's all about that shit. And then our main characters are kind of in the back.
Well, and it will really bring in a whole bunch of new fans, which ultimately for any big corporation is the goal, because it will make more money for them, which I think everyone would be excited about.
Yeah, and let's face it, in 1977, no one came to see Star Wars because Sir Alec Guinness was in it. It was kids going to see a fantasy film, but that's the role that I want Han, Luke, and Leia to have, is kind of this mentor, that walks around in the background, is like, look, I'm too old to do this sort of thing. Yeah. I can maybe turn off a tractor beam. That's about all I'm useful for. Right. And then guide somebody else. Let's have a new crop. Let's have a new class of Jedi.
Right, I agree.
Basically, this is turning into Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
I mean,
Star Wars was around a little bit before
I'm saying
that homeless woman wrote those wizard books.
I'd like to see them a little older though too, because again, like, their kids are going to be in their 30s. But let's see. We get some more calls from Schmoville. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
This is actually Andrew and Katie with Zero Charisma.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
We didn't have your guys' number, so we didn't know what we've been anticipating the phone call. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we tried the number a few times and we just got busy signals.
Well, we didn't have. No one gave us a number, so we're looking at the. We have the calls coming in. We're glad that we got you guys. Let's talk about the movie and let's talk about the festival. We're really excited for you guys. So what's it like there? What's it like there right now?
Right now, it's awesome because people have already started partying. We are actually sitting in our car outside of a pre-South by Southwest party right now.
Well, Katie and Andrew, let me tell you something. I've been to Austin before. Your car is the only place you're safe from the crazy partiers that are there for the South by Southwest. And I'm sure there's actually a lot of people that your movie's going to influence a lot of people there, because I was a huge Magic the Gathering fan as a kid. Yeah. I kind of missed the Dungeons and Dragons boat. Were one or both of you guys huge gamers growing up?
I played Dungeons and Dragons. I played Magic the Gathering a little bit. Never really got into it, but it was Dungeons and Dragons from like 5th grade on, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's what the film is about. Is that the lead character is kind of this great Dungeons and Dragons leader, but then he's got a threat coming from out of town, and it's a new sort of spin on it. So
the classic story of the gamer versus hipster.
Yeah.
So, guys, Katie and Andrew, let me ask you this: so the title of your film, The Zero Charisma, is that a takeoff of E.T. at all?
I guess. I mean, yeah, we heard that in E.T. first, probably a long time ago, and I've heard people say since then. I'm glad that somebody remembered that from E.T.
And a lot of our art direction is influenced by E.T.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
a lot of the game scenes kind of have the same vibe as that game scene in E.T.
Although I think it's important to point out, as many people probably will point out once the film screens, that it's actually impossible to have a zero charisma unless you've been affected by some sort of magic spells or something. And 3 charisma is really the lowest that you can go.
Well, then I must have been affected by a magic spell, because it is not working with the ladies recently for me, kids.
Yeah, well, it's funny too, because I watched the trailer. Looks really great. What's your lead actor? Kind of reminded me also of who's the guy in Mallrats and in My Name Is Earl. Yeah. No, it's Randy. Yeah,
he talks about Ethan Suplee all the time.
Right.
That's his doppelganger.
Yeah, it reminded me, and he's got that kind of just that charisma that Ethan had too. So it was. just watching the trailer was a lot of fun and made me kind of realize that you could see who this guy is. You know right away from the trailer exactly what kind of film it is. And for the audience you're talking to right now is a definite sell. So we're looking forward to seeing that.
So you're at the festival now, and then where does the film go from here? Are you hoping to get something out of this festival, or is this more just to kind of show off, hey, we made a great movie, everybody come out and watch it?
Well, I mean, the goal is to get some kind of distribution out of the festival. It may happen at the festival, it may happen after the festival, but we feel pretty confident that it will get out there at some point. So, I mean, it will. I can say with 99.9% assurance that it will be on iTunes, it will be on Netflix at some point in the future, definitely.
Yeah. But we are looking for distribution.
Okay. And guys, make sure that you go out and check out the trailer also for Zero Charisma. And guys, before we let you go, I wanted to talk to Katie also, because we actually started because our podcast, we started from our YouTube channel. So you're a YouTube vlogger as well.
I had a feeling you guys would bring this up.
Of course.
What was your first video on YouTube like, Katie? Was it just you, complaining about socks? Because that's pretty much what we did. It was just,
Nice.
Yeah, so...
my fourth video, it was just a vlog, and this was in 2006, I think, and my first video got 16 million views, which is insane.
Well, color us jealous.
Yeah, we're back. We just put a review up, and I think it just hit like 6,000.
Yeah.
So, again, so we were just showing the support of YouTube, and again, we wish you all the luck in the world, and we're looking forward to seeing Zero Charisma. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Enjoy Austin. Be safe, guys.
Thank you.
And
have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So again, we were able to. It's
That's
really.
How you do a call.
It's so cool to talk to some directors and people who have the film, in a festival like that. Because again, it's as aspiring for people who are aspiring filmmakers and writers and directors, and that's where you want to. I mean, that's
an
what
uphill battle,
that's
man.
what you aspire to. So I hopefully, again, guys, tweet in. We're going to take a break here, but tweet in at Schmoes Know, Facebook Schmoes Know, and ask any questions you want us to ask these directors that are at the festival. Let us know, and we'll do it. So for Tiffany Smith, Mark Ellis, Christian
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Can't tell you. All right, guys. Schmoes Know Podcast. We're back. It was a lot of fun. We're going to be talking to some directors from the South by Southwest Film Festival, which is really exciting, going on right now. And there's a lot. We're going to take a lot of phone calls from you guys, so make sure you call in at 323-622-8623. We're going to talk about some of the movie stories out there.
What is this music? This sounds like somebody just got a really good idea. Now they're going to make it happen.
It's just my head. I'm projecting it into the.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like you just got the idea for the first windshield wiper. Honey, this could actually work.
It's from X-Men First Class.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Now we have a couple things that again, like Ripped Apparel. As you guys know, we had some great shirts. We gave away a great Breaking Bad shirt last week to Maria Menounos. Did you see the tweet?
So excited.
The tweet was great. She cut it up and gave herself her own design. It was pretty good.
Bryan Cranston's face has never looked so sexy.
That's true. Ripped Apparel, by the way, if you guys don't know, look at the Toadhop Network and the Schmoes Know. Underneath, you have a link to Ripped Apparel, and they have these 24-hour designs. If you put in the title in the coupon code, you put Schmoes in lowercase, you get $1 off of the shirt.
$9 for a one-of-a-kind T-shirt. It's gone forever after 24 hours. I'm wearing my my hoverboard, my Mattel shirt.
I got Lion King, a.k.a. That's Lion King mixed with the Thundercats.
I love when you guys talk about the shirts because you both go like, hey, look at my shirt.
Yeah, I love it. Don't be jealous. Speaking of the girl who saw the Michonne shirt today from the Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I want it.
Yeah, again, there's a really great one on that
I got hoverboard on my tits. Look at them.
Who was that?
I don't know. Yeah, what was
that? Was my mom.
Oh, okay.
We can have Riley's mom in here. We can't have my mom. Drop by.
I understand. Quick. Well, speaking of Riley,
between her shifts at Crazy
once again, Mark Ellis has violated the Schmoes Know sexual harassment policy.
Yeah.
We will have a course after.
I was talking about my own tits.
I want to have either Riley or Makuga come up with a contest for Schmoville today for one of them to win the Oblivion T-shirt. So, well, either Makuga or Riley come up with some kind of contest for them. It'd be kind of fun if you guys anything. We think of some kind of trivia question, anything we can do. We'll give it away at the end of the show. So, yeah, we'll let both. Okay. Yeah, let both of them try it out. Check it out. Well, wait. Well, let's Makuga already has it.
Here's going to be the contest.
No nudity. Good. All right.
I think the contest is who came up with a better contest, Makuga or Riley.
That's true.
That's the game, and you guys can win like an Arby's coupon or something.
Let's take a call from Schmoeville. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's that awkward kid, Blake.
Hey, Blake, what do you got tonight for us, bud?
Not much. Just calling in. I wanted to talk about, I honestly don't really know what I want to
Perfect. All right, Blake. Well, you know what? Think about it. Call back a little bit, bud, and then when you have something...
call back after we talk to Mayimbe about the Christopher Nolan news. We'll get your take on that in the second hour.
All right, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hello, this is Patrick Hogue.
Hoagie.
That's my boy, Hogue.
What's up, Hogue? What do you got, dude?
I wanted to add a few people to the Star Wars draft, if you don't mind me.
I'm sorry. ShoesyPants was being obnoxious. What did you say?
I wanted to add a few people to your Star Wars draft, if you don't mind.
Well, you can add them, yeah. Just unfortunately, it's the deadline. You mean you're going to add some people that we're going to get pissed off that we forgot about?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
It happens every week.
Who do you got, Hoagie?
All right, I just finished The Master, so Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams.
Good.
It's funny. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick throws in these names.
Yeah.
Like he throws in great actors, but just actors that I can't put in Star Wars.
Joaquin Phoenix, I think you can put in Star Wars.
I mean, Gladiator, I guess, but it's just at this point.
Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman. There weren't a lot of portly people in Star Wars. There was Porkins.
Yeah.
And he had maybe 5 seconds of screen time before he blew
What about
up.
the Wampa?
The Wampa was in shape for Wampas. I don't know if you've seen other Wampas, but he was doing his ab rollers.
Yeah, I just watched that movie this week.
The Empire Strikes Back?
No, The Master.
Yeah,
weird.
It
made me feel really weird.
It made everybody feel a little icky, but you can't deny it was an acting.
The acting
clinic.
is incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. But I just felt.
You got something, Josh?
There is a little movie about me. It's called The Master as well. I don't wear pants throughout the entire movie.
Okay.
And
is it at South by Southwest?
It is. It's at South by Southwest this year. It's in like the X-rated portion of South by Southwest. I do wear a green jacket as homage to the Masters.
Great point by.
But hey, Josh, I'm going to give you a number for the Groundlings Improv School.
I'm like, this is making me almost as uncomfortable as the movie itself did.
Well, we got a good.
We totally stoned him. We didn't yes and him at all.
You're talking about out of shape people. Jesse Green tweets in. What about Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jabba the Hutt could make an appearance.
And those pigs.
Well,
those
maybe
pigs
not Jabba the Hutt, but maybe one of his Hutt kids could.
Yeah. All right. So let's take another call from Schmoeville here. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. What do we got? Hello.
Oh, hi.
What's up, buddy? Who do we got in Schmoeville, and what is your question/comment?
You got Aaron from California.
Sup, yo?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, man? Oops, we lost him. I lost him. Sorry,
Did we lose Aaron from California?
Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
What?
Oops.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Joseph here from Australia.
Hey, man, what's up?
How you doing?
Oh, man, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of you guys. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries. If I could just talk about the casting for Harrison Ford in Anchorman 2.
Yeah, that just came out this week that Harrison Ford is going to have a little part in...
tweeted photos of him and...
Yeah, that's exciting. Now, how do you feel about that in The Land Down Under?
I actually think that's pretty genius casting, because I think Harrison Ford fits that era so well. So I think it's going to be really funny to see him in the movie.
It's a great point, because...
Thank you for the call, dude. Thank you.
It's a great point because Harrison Ford is now one of those guys where if he comes on screen just for a cameo, it's going to get a laugh. It's going to do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like Arnold, before he started actually making movies again, had that credibility a little bit. Now you see Arnold, like, oh, what's this guy want?
Well, guys, we're going to be joined by our director, Emily Hagins, from feature film Grow Up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Grow Up, Tony Phillips. I really wanted to talk to Emily. Is she on the line now?
Emily's on right now.
Hello?
Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. So we are excited to talk to you and hear about your film. And how is it at South by Southwest right now?
It's I guess the city's getting a little busy. Traffic is not so awesome.
So are you gonna hole up in your hotel room until the movie premieres, or what's the situation before your movie is shown for the first time? Are you nervous? Are you just playing it safe? Or are you going out drinking on 6th Street every night?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm 20, so I can't go do that.
You know what? I have a thriving fake ID business. I can drive to. I can be there by tomorrow.
Well, there's a lot of cool stuff with Emily though too, because Emily is the first teenage girl in the United States to make a feature film.
Yeah.
In general, that's pretty amazing. As where I think most of us here were just trying to get either a beer or laid, and she was out there.
I would have taken either of those options.
Yeah, and so you're out. So what made you want to get into film? What was some of your inspirations, Emily?
I guess I just always loved watching movies, and then I just always loved watching movies, and then I started making my own short films, and my dad kind of walks me through the process of making a short, because he's used to working in advertising, so he's taught me that, you have to have a script and a storyboard, and right off the bat, I knew that you couldn't just go out and make a movie without a plan. So when I started to really love the process, I really wanted to learn everything that went into it, and it kind of just grew from there.
That's awesome, man. So your dad walked you through the process of my dad walked me through the process of how to mow the lawn every Saturday. That's really the bulk of the advice. And so now you have this movie in this big-time festival. This is not your first time at South by Southwest, though. So do you feel like a seasoned veteran among all these newbies, or are you just as nervous as you were when My Sucky Teen Romance was there?
I guess I feel like I learned a lot from doing Sucky Teen Romance, but it's definitely going to be a different experience this time around. The film, I think, is a little bit, it's a little bit different tonally, and it's not a genre film, and I think it'll kind of attract a different audience, hopefully, and people who are fans of Sucky Teen Romance, or if there are any, I don't know, but if people like that movie, I hope that they'll still enjoy the spirit and the teen awkwardness of this movie, because that's still in there, but I guess I learned some festival lessons this last time that will definitely go into this time around.
Well, and this film is that's okay. I'd be this excited there too.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing you learned from your first time at South by Southwest? What was the biggest do not to do this time?
Oh, a do not. I don't know. Well, tonight we were labeling all of our marketing materials, and I think last time we. It's interesting because you want to have like a ton of posters and postcards.
You want to be ready to sell, yeah.
But when you go to these festivals, people just cover them up with their own posters and postcards.
Oh,
and
really?
Then you run out the day into this whole thing, and then you're like, oh man, all my posters are covered.
Emily, you need a street team. We have interns here. We can fly them out. Let's get a helicopter.
You just need people walking around in costume, in their Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Then they would know about the film.
You can see a bunch of bastards out there too, like, oh wait, look at the 20-year-old girl over there. She's putting them. Oh yeah, we can put posters over her. What? You know what? That's when you need to get a couple brutes.
Yeah,
like
you and me, Christian.
Yeah, that's true. So do you need us to come fly out there and break some skulls?
Oh no.
All right.
I appreciate the gesture though.
All right. Well, the other thing I wanted to ask you too, Emily, was the fact that now Harry Knowles actually helped break you into the short films. Is that right?
Yeah, he was really supportive when I wanted to make movies, because I was really into going to all the local film events and seeing all these older movies in the theater, which is just a cool experience we have in Austin. There's a lot of theaters that are very supportive of showing classic films, and it was just a really good experience for a young person wanting to just learn. And he was really involved with the Alamo Drafthouse, and he would do a thing like a free kids movie every month that wouldn't necessarily be a kids movie. It'd just be like an older movie that was appropriate for kids. So I was learning a lot as a kid, and he was hosting the screenings, and I got to know him, and he was just very supportive, which is cool.
And with this movie, it's a coming-of-age story, but how do you kind of approach an 18-year-old boy who's still going trick-or-treating and not make that feel creepy? Should listen out.
Yeah. I felt a little weird at first because I didn't want to make the character seem too hyper focused. Like he's very he loves Halloween, but he's not unhealthily obsessed. It's like he's kind of like a normal kid, and he's smart and good at school, but it's like he has this thing that may turn into something that would cause him to not be as driven as an adult, because he's being held back by these maybe childish obsessions. And I love Halloween. I don't want to call Halloween childish. I think it's the best. But it was just an aesthetic I really wanted to use to tell this story. And so that was really important with me and Tony Vespi, who plays Tony Phillips in the movie. I wrote it for him because he's in all my other movies, and I really wanted to make a movie where Tony could be Tony in the lead role. So it's just it was really important to me that Tony was still like a smart, normal kid, but he had this thing that could possibly hold him back later down the road.
My God, I loved Halloween. I trick-or-treated until, I think once you break this, if you trick-or-treat on your senior year of high school and you're going to college, then you're going to do it the next 4 years, too. Like, I trick-or-treated until I was like mid-20s.
I would if I could now still.
You could get away with it now because you're a hot chick. I'm sure Emily could get away with it now. But dudes, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Until you come out to L.A. Emily, I don't know if you've ever experienced Halloween on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood, California.
Oh, my gosh.
It may make you hate Halloween. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but maybe you should try it once and then never come back.
Oh my gosh, that sounds just the way that you say that makes it sound very unpleasant.
Well, it's just so many people. It's like Woodstock for crazy people in costumes.
Well, Emily, just listening to you and what you've already accomplished, I mean, 20 is unbelievable too. If you're ever, next time you're in Los Angeles, please come in studio and visit us, because we'd love to talk to you more. And again, just for one of our tweets from one of our guys here, Josh McCouga, has said, this girl has more motivation and success at 20 than the entire cast of American Pie had in their whole career. So this is
no.
And she's so sweet.
She's such a sweet. So again, Emily, thank you so much for joining us, and please, when you're in LA, please come and visit us in studio.
I will. I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Emily. Bye-bye. Have fun.
Have a great time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
My God, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Sounds like she should still be trick-or-treating out there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, she's making movies about it.
Well, and if you read stuff that she's talked about online, she's so attentive to detail with her films. Like she talked about in this film that there was no texting, there was no social networking, like within the film, because she was like, I really wanted it to feel like the cast was really close to each other and
I love that.
build a community,
That's
which
so
is
great.
crazy, because I'm like, I wouldn't think of that, to be like, oh, we're not going to communicate through texting.
Well, you wouldn't think of a lot of things, Tiffany.
You
Kristen,
know
who's our next
what?
call?
Hey, you are in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hi, it's Tim McCanlies.
Oh, great, Tim. We were looking forward to talking to you. How are you, man?
I'm great. Great to meet you guys.
Yeah, same here. We're excited to talk to you and hear about your film, and there's a lot of cool stuff. First of all, you guys out there, Tim wrote The Iron Giant, by the way, which is one of my favorite animations for sure.
Tearjerker.
Yeah, such a great movie. So it's that in general is so fun to talk to you. But I want to hear about your film. And first of all, how is South by Southwest right now?
It's just now starting to gear up, but the craziness is just now beginning.
Great. So
it's about to go nuts.
That's what you like to hear, because it's really just a big party down there too. It's a great film festival. It's very prestigious, but it doesn't take itself ultra seriously like a Con or a Sundance. Like, you can get your hands a little dirty down there in Austin, right?
Well, it is Austin, first of all, and secondly, the music festival sort of comes up right in hard on the heels of the music on the film of the film side of the festival. So it just is nuts. The whole downtown area just becomes one big party basically for about a week and a half.
That's right, man. Enjoy 6th Street. And what's funny is that South by Southwest is taking place. What month are we in? It's March now.
Yeah, it's March.
And you have a film in the festival that is all about Christmas and getting into or being away from the Christmas spirit. How does that play in March?
Well, one hopes that people could still get in the Christmas spirit even in March.
Well, I think one of the reasons for you, Tim, is that the fact that when I saw the fact that Harry Connick Jr. was in there,
screams Christmas movie.
but he just
in such a good way.
Yeah, such a good way is the fact that when you see it and you know the tone, you're like, okay, this is kind of like a modern. We got
his voice.
We got a Grinch / Scrooge on our tail here, and sometimes it's nice to see like a switch in the seasons too, especially when we've had these movies so far in 2013 have been and then you get a nice Christmas movie in March.
Is that my sound effect?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So, tell me a little bit about Harry. Then, how did Harry come about to being attached to the project and whatnot?
Well, I was supposed to do the script, and I thought it was a terrific script, and we were sitting around thinking who would be perfect for it, and I've always been a huge fan of Harry, and you may or may not, and I didn't know him from Iron Giant, but you mentioned Iron Giant.
Right,
he did the voice of Dean, the beatnik character in the Iron Giant.
So you guys had a lot to talk about once you met him.
Yes,
then.
well, we did.
Oh, that's cool.
And and I didn't really ever really meet him. Writing the script, that kind of came and went before all the my script. The script was locked before all the actors came in. We did temp versions, with temp actors and stuff. But he was great. Harry's so fun. The character, it would be tough. One of my concerns with the script was, how do you make a guy who's the movie's about a guy who basically has a big problem with Christmas because of a tragedy in his past with a brother who died.
Okay.
And so he just doesn't really like Christmas. And so the tricky part of this script is always to not make this guy a jerk, to make this guy, he's still a very likable guy. He just, he just is really a Grinch about Christmas.
Yeah.
And so Harry is such a likable guy, and he was really able to split that, really make that work. So you still like the guy, and you wanted him to, get over it, to get past his problem. And that's what the movie's all about.
Yeah, and it's funny too, and I don't know if it's going to be a spoiler, but I have to ask anyway. Now, I'm getting the vibe that Willie Nelson's an angel. Getting the vibe.
Well, it's sort of we try to leave it a little mysterious, but
a stoned angel.
An angel. He could be Santa Claus.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, there's so much musical talent. You bring up Willie Nelson. The guy's pretty much made of hemp at this point. Is that more or less accurate? Did anybody ever get to have some fun with Willie in his trailer, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I did go to the trailer, and you can certainly get a contact high.
Just as you walk out.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see what the shots were like after you got out of there.
And last week
we were always very careful to go to the trailer after.
At the end of the day.
The whole day's out of focus.
Bring cookies. Let's go to Willie's trailer.
Last week we talked a little bit about Sushi Girl having Mark Hamill in it and kind of that taking the focus off of the film itself. And Connie Britton is in this one, and there's a lot of press about her in Nashville. Is that ever something that you think about with your film coming out and having someone who has a lot of focus on them on something else?
Well, we shot this before Nashville, before she even got the show. So, we just, one of the reasons we approached her was, we all know her pretty well here in Austin because that's where Friday Night Lights was shot.
Right.
So she actually has a place here in Austin. She's sort of an unofficial Austinite, and she's just so terrific. This is another character who was sort of unsympathetic in the script, and Connie. When we were casting Connie, she called me up and said, "Hey, can we just sort of make it up as we go along? I don't like a lot of what she says." And I said, "Absolutely," because that's what she did in Friday Night Lights.
Right.
So, so much of the movie is Connie. You know what I mean?
That's
just
cool.
kind of doing her own thing, and she's just so terrific in that way.
Yeah.
It was a character who was a little unsympathetic in the script. She was kind of always on Harry's case, and she really made it work so well.
That's got to be, that's got to be refreshing when you know you can trust in your actors that way, that you just you know what you want from them and you're going to let them go, and then you just leave that scene going, okay, I got what I needed.
Yeah, and I can answer for Tim where I can say the only question he's sick of getting is the Willie Nelson pod jokes, and Christian and I already took care of those.
Well, Tim, I have one more question for you before we let you go here. Now you worked in Hollywood, you worked in Austin. What's the difference between working in Austin there and then working in Hollywood? How do you feel the vibe is?
Gosh, that's a really kind of complicated question. I mean, in Austin, everything's a little bit more laid back, but in some ways it's a little less professional. I mean, everything else in Austin, it's a little bit more, laid back. It's not quite as people don't. Gosh, it's hard to put into words.
You can talk shit about Hollywood if you want. We're all.
I'm trying to be politic about Austin and trying to talk shit about both. Frankly,
right.
At the end of the day, producers are producers. You know, in Hollywood, in some ways, in Hollywood, they're much more upfront with you. even when they're telling you bad news.
Pretty much, it depends.
More professionalism that way. In Austin, nobody ever wants to hurt anybody's feelings.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Pretty much,
So
it really depends on who you work with.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, I was in Austin a couple of months ago, and they don't have any In-N-Out burgers. So, I mean, that's a check in the old Hollywood category.
Well, again, make sure.
We've got a ton of great burger joints, though. We've got and a ton of great barbecue joints. I think we have no
barbecue.
There's no lacking of meat.
Barbecue beats out In-N-Out for me any day.
Hey, Tim, have you tried any of Willie Nelson's homemade moonshine?
No, I'm not.
Really?
In fact, I don't know much about this.
Tim sounds disappointed he wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, I know.
Now, there were evidently brownies circulating on the set.
Oh, man.
Well,
None
Tim,
of them never made their way to me. Since I'm the director, I guess people try to keep me,
right? They want to keep you sober, so
you're the boss, man.
They all have
That's
jobs.
the end of the day snack again.
Tim, thank you so much again for calling in, and good luck again with the festival. And guys, check out Tim's film When Angels Sing. You can check out the trailer on YouTube. And again, good luck and everything too. And we look forward to meeting you once you're in when you're in LA.
Oh, great! Thanks. Yeah, same here.
Okay,
Thanks very much, guys.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
That's so cool, man. It's really nice to talk to these guys too. I mean, it's like you find out like we've had all three of the directors, four directors, are in different levels of their career.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You have the young actor, director who's 20 years old, really coming up. And you have the YouTube vlogger who it's really cool. And then you have the experienced, established screenwriter. It's really cool to watch the different levels out there.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of talking on the phone in general, but I think this was worth it. Like when we were flustered answering phone calls, who is this? Is this the guy we hope? Is this it? That was effing worth it, man.
Yeah.
That's inspiring. I'm gonna go home and write my diary.
Well, talking about being inspired, we're going to go to break here in a second, and when we get back, we're going to be talking to Mayimbe to talk all about Nolan, all about Justice League, Planet Hulk, all that stuff, guys. So make sure you tune in at Schmoes Know, Facebook Schmoes Know, the whole deal. We'll be back in a second. Listen to this music. Come on, what are you laughing about? You should be excited
I'm
about
laughing
this.
because you get so excited to
Because it's
with
good
new
music.
songs. I know. I'm laughing in
Everybody
like a
be
good
quiet.
way.
I want to know what this is.
Jeez, guys.
You don't know?
Well, I need a few more bars.
Is this the game? A-hole.
I need the crescendo.
Joseph Hemmings got it on one shot.
Dark Knight.
There you go, Dark Knight. And there's a reason we're playing that, because we're about to talk to Mayimbe in a second here. And I am so excited. I cannot wait to talk to this guy.
I know, I put on the headphones because I need
You can
to
leave
listen.
this on a little bit, Johnny. Even when he calls in, we can leave it in for sure.
It's an hour and 12 minutes.
Perfect. We're going to leave it. That's why I said it. I said it on purpose. This is going to be so cool. This guy, he broke the story like a couple of weeks ago about the Han Solo thing. And then now he broke the whole big thing about fucking Nolan and Justice League. And now he reported that Bale was going to be in it. And now there's conflicting reports that Bale won't be in it. I want to talk to him about it. I want to find out what he knows. Again, now there's the site that we never know. We never know what's right, what's wrong. So
Yeah, Christian, where did you see the Bale rumor that he denied it? Or
what the hell? Comic book guy? What the hell? What's the
I don't know that Bale has ever actually.
Because I was looking
said
too,
anything.
and I couldn't find anything, but
I feel like it's Bale's people. He's never come out and said like I'm in or I'm not in.
Right.
And your people pretty much have to deny shit until the last minute. Until it's totally happening. Your people have to be the ones that are going to look like an asshole and a liar when you actually are in the movie, but that's their job. That's why you have people.
Well, he's at a good leverage right now with
of course
backing a dump truck of money into his yard.
Well, and what?
Wow, easy. What is he? Your neighbor? Is he?
Yeah, he's my neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, because when you think about it, you're like, he was under contract for those 3 films.
Just
now he's
for those
out of the
3.
contract, and so it's like if they want him back,
Yeah,
it's going to take a lot.
A dump truck full of money?
More than a dump truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just Mayimbe is going to call in a second here.
Christian Bale should just play Beetlejuice in a movie. You know, just take all Michael Keaton's best parts. Just be clean and sober, Mr. Mom, whatever you want to do, Christian.
Well, yeah.
The remake of Mr. Mom.
Yeah,
It's like
he should
Christian
just attack.
Bale.
You know what Mayimbe had said too? I watched his video as well. I mean, a great point was the fact that all the other Avengers, by the way, their movies, none of them made $1 billion. Bale's
Right.
Batman did it twice.
Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
So I mean, that guy, you get that guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't agree with this whole thing with about not having. If you put Bale in it, it's completely different.
I'm with you, dude. And it's up to the storytellers. That's what I wrote in my article. Just figure out the tone. You can do it with, you got Nolan, Goyer, and all the rest. You can figure out the tone and make it work.
Nolan knows what he's good at and how to work with Bale.
Yeah,
where it's like if he's on board, he's going to be able to let him shine, but not like have the whole focus be on him. Which I think, with Downey Jr., I think that's a big part of it.
Okay, well, we have him right now. Okay.
All right.
So we are really excited now to bring in El Mayimbe. How are you, brother? What's going on?
What's poppin', cool kids?
You, my friend. We are so excited to find out all this stuff. We got you for a little bit here because you have, just like the Joker, set the internet on fire, my friend.
Seriously.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, look, we talked to you a couple of weeks ago about the Han Solo thing, and that was big news. That's like news that like Jamie Kennedy has a new movie now. I tell you, who cares? You have now you have Justice League, Christopher Nolan. Now, let me ask you first, because you reported on this thing, and and I watched your video. It was fantastic. And now the question is, there was someone had said the Bale part of it is the one part that might not be true. What's your reaction to that?
All right, my reaction to that, and I addressed the author of that piece yesterday.
Okay.
Who is, as you guys are well aware of, we've been credited with every DC scoop we've ever broken. We've broken some quite mighty big ones, So he's not, I've been in LA for a long time, a couple of years on and off, so I've established some pretty high up relationships and stuff. So if you're going to believe some message board, looking, I think, for attention instead of backing your story up with some credible information, then there's a problem. But I don't pay attention to most of it. I just do what I do, and then when it's ultimately true, that's it's the vindication of it all. But now the Hollywood, that's what I tried in the video to show, in the Ken Burns stuff, to show the economics behind the story. Okay? Probably when Dark Knight Rises, before that movie came out, I guarantee you everybody was done with superhero movies or whatnot. But Chris Nolan, Christian Bale is quite a shrewd businessman as well. But he didn't close the door. He left it open, like I said in my report. And then the Avengers outgrossed Batman. Then JJ got Star Wars. Then Warner Brothers just started having their year. So all studios, let's just not even talk about all studios, like some sort of security. So if, like I said in the video, if you're facing not only one, but two tentpole titles from one studio with nothing but name brand recognition talent behind it, how the hell do you counter that?
Right.
By bringing in your own name recognition talent that's been proven time and time again at the studio, and it could perhaps counter that offense with quite the muscular. It's like the '86 Giants defense with Lawrence Taylor.
I love the reference.
That's what I think they're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Could stuff fall apart at the end? Sure, absolutely. Anything is possible. But remember, the key here is Bale did not shut the door down completely like his colleague supposedly has.
Right.
But trust me when I tell you, you go anywhere to any of the producers on the line, and you even try to talk superheroes, you got to go through Nolan now. That means takeover. Because all the tempos, they're, like I said, filmmaker-driven. Josh is a big godfather on all the Marvel stuff.
Right.
JJ now Star Wars, and that courtship took a couple of months. So I personally believe, and I could be wrong on this, if there are going to be any sort of deals happening, I don't think they'll happen before the release of Man of Steel because, it's like after winning the Super Bowl, why would you negotiate? Like Victor Cruz, he's not going to negotiate during the season. He'll wait till after he's won the Super Bowl to strengthen his negotiating position. So that's why I try to stress to fanboys to look at, read business PR articles and study the business just a tad more, the business side of it once in a while to understand the economics of how the business works. And especially I have nothing against Warner. Their publicity department, they got the coolest dudes working for them, and we're cool with it. Again, the classiest and most conservative film studio. Again, movie stars and Oscars. That's their MO. That's always been their MO since the 30s up until now. So could there be a new Batman? that's played by a new actor? Sure, probably, but that was before they got cornered with a Star Wars movie and an Avengers sequel.
Right.
Everything changed after that. Okay? Everything.
Yeah, these New York Giant references are really starting to piss me off.
No, you stop it.
No,
I'm a Jets fan, to be quite honest.
No, don't listen to him. He's a Redskins fan.
Listen to me. It's only a Lawrence Taylor reference if Batman breaks Iron Man's leg, like Taylor did to Joe Theismann. That's the only way I accept it. Now, here's my question: is the reason why they're not announcing and confirming anything is because the Man of Steel hasn't actually come out yet, and so maybe people internally think it's a really great film and it's going to do well, but until it actually hits the masses and it has the critical reception, is that why they're playing it close to their vest? Because they want to make sure it's a great movie?
I understand their position right now, okay? They want to have all the, like, they screened it again last night. And a lot of people, that kind of leaked out on it that it's great. Personally, I don't know anything about Man of Steel. I want to go into that movie cold. I don't want to know the ending. I don't want to know the spoilers, nothing. I've turned them away, because this is one movie I want to go in as a fan completely cold. Much to the detriment of my, like I said, their police department is really good with us.
Right.
So I don't want to upset them. Scoops is fair game, but when you start spoiling stuff for them, that's when they get a little ticked off.
Right,
so
of course.
I stay within those parameters. Scooping is safe, but the spoiler Marvel's different. Marvel, it's all out war. But DC, they got class. They treat us well. We're cool with them, on a personal level as well. So I'm not going to damage that relationship over some hits. That's not happening.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And like you were saying too, with the Avengers too, what the biggest problem, and I think maybe Warner Brothers is finally listening to fans too, because the biggest problem with the DC stuff and the Justice League stuff was that you hear like, oh, these scripts are getting thrown out. We don't know if Henry Cavill's going to be in the thing. We don't know if Christian Bale's going to be in it. It's just going to be brand new actors, and you can't get invested. If they do this, it's brilliant. Because, and a lot of people, there are some people, and I'm sure you've heard it as well, don't know if they, you can take the tone of the Nolan Dark Knight, and mix it with Justice League. And I don't agree with that. And I'm curious what you think. Do you think that the Nolan world will fit into a Justice League movie?
Absolutely. That is one talented individual who has proven time and time again how to make something work. Okay? So he's got a key ally in that fight, mainly his brother, and also a frequent collaborator and colleague in David Goyer, who knows his comic books inside and out. Like if you're lucky enough to run over strips, you can't really anymore because they're under lock and key. But if you're lucky enough to read what he did with the first Batman, and someone who understands, he's like their undercover Whedon because he's a private individual, but he knows his stuff when it comes to these universes.
He's their El Mayimbe, if you will.
Yeah.
He's the what? I didn't hear that.
He said he's the El Mayimbe, if you will.
Yeah. I feel like a cop on the wire, just talking to my informant on the street, just getting the scoop.
How do you get these scoops? I mean, because people get really pissed off that this stuff is coming out. So then, who are these people, and they're excited to share this with you? Because as a fan, like a fangirl myself, I would want to hear this stuff, but I don't know how to get it out of people.
I think you do too.
See, a lot of like, let's say a print magazine might score an exclusive with the studio pertaining to one of these superheroes in exchange for ads. Or buy, or in their front pages and whatnot. So it's all politics as well. But the Justice League scoop was the toughest I've ever faced because J.J. Abrams has a secrecy machine. But I bow my head to Chris Nolan. His is tougher, So it's on a need to know basis. So when I got the genesis of an idea, I had to go into an internal investigation, hit up absolutely everyone I know, even colleagues and stuff, and build some trust. And investigate, and then step back as a fanboy, but think about it like if I was a sitting vice president. I mean, what do you tell your shareholders when they want a piece of that $1.5 billion action? Look at Bob Iger yesterday. I think he got voted back in. These are publicly traded companies that have to answer to their shareholders. So if they see a potential of if Avatar or the Avengers sequel doesn't do it first, a team-up movie with their marquee characters executed well is possible to reach $2 billion at the box office. I believe that. Yeah. It depends, of course, upon the execution, of course. But what do you do against an enemy like the one they're facing right now?
Yeah, I mean,
nobody saw the Star Wars thing coming. Absolutely nobody. Like I said, that changed everything.
Yeah, you're right, because the thing is, too, when it's just the Avengers, you're like, shit, we got to just put out a Justice League movie now, and we'll just figure it out, put Batman and Superman in it. And then you see J.J. Abrams get a hold of one of the greatest franchises of all time, and then you go, fuck. You know, so it's pretty much...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
It's all about economics.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
It's true. And,
how do you protect yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's not just economics and the fact you're like, okay, we're just going to kind of hope that people want to see Batman and Superman. You want to get the people, because it's, again, the Avengers, what they did was they got you invested in those other movies, in Iron Man, in Captain America. So when it happened, you knew all these actors, you were ready. So if you, like you said, if you have Bale in it, a guy that we've been on board with for 3 movies, now working with the Henry Cavill, if we love him in Superman, it is a hit. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's a hit.
Well, and how does the kind of Batman rumor with Aronofsky and possibly going the way of Arkham Asylum, that kind of thing, does that play into this at all?
Not at all. This started pretty much like when JJ got Star Wars. Then they had to have a meeting and figure out how to counter that. And things change all the time. People go into marriages for the same reasons, and people get divorced, or they go longer and stuff. But Hollywood is in the business of, like I said, building franchises. Look at the studio's other problem. They have no more Harry Potter movies.
Right.
And what are the Hobbit movies do they have after 2014? You understand what I'm saying? So they're losing that revenue that they were getting on video and stuff, and they look at their DC properties now, see it's quite the viable commodity, and figuring out a way to make this work with all the parties involved and the players and stuff. So remember, when they did the first 3 Batman movies, okay, they were all signed to like 3 pictures, mainly Bale. But now that he's a free agent and can negotiate quite a first dollar gross participation, I think it'd set a precedent in the business.
Right.
Yeah, he does okay. He's rich. But he's not like Michael Bay flying in a private jet rich, like he did on Transformers.
Ugh.
Yeah, you still got to fly in first class on Delta like the rest of us schlubs.
He's shrewd, and the people involved are shrewd. But Warner's did have an initiative to get the Justice League going as soon as possible, and then everything started falling apart, and there was internal issues supposedly with the script, directors and stuff. So then these 2 things happened in the business within 6 months of each other, quite frankly, the Avengers gross and the Star Wars thing, that not only them, but everybody else around town. What do we have franchise-wise? If you see nothing but sequels and based on existing properties or material being developed and or rushed into production. Like, look, they're rebooting the Jack Ryan franchise over at Paramount, or trying to get G.I. Joe again. Everybody's trying to get a piece of that action. Right. Nobody who thought that Marvel's movie mashup idea was going to work. They thought it was laughable. They thought they had, look, we made $1 billion before with Dark Knight Rises. With Dark Knight, now we have Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
Ha ha ha. We'll go up against their movie mashup idea, and on the contrary, it's like when New England plays the Jets. Okay, New England will win like 2 years ago. New England will win the first game. The Jets will figure out how to come back and beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
Same thing. They're all friendly and cordial, but they're very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's also it's like the networks too. You got NBC, ABC. They're all trying to be the top dog all the time. And now the superhero realism it's funny because we had a conversation right before the podcast tonight we were talking about like the first crapbox G.I. Joe movie, and Stephen Sommers was on that turd, and like Stephen Sommers would not be able to get a good comic book movie because, like you said, they're giving it to like real directors,
like respected people in it. Storytellers.
Josh Whedon and J.J. Abrams ain't nobody's fool. Those guys know what they're doing.
Right.
So if you're at the studio, I mean, Guillermo's busy with Pacific Rim, the Justice League Dark that we broke as well. So they like, also, if you haven't noticed, they like working with the same people constantly. But they've had some missteps along the way. That Gangster Squad didn't do what they thought it was going to do for them.
Yeah.
And everything this year coming out so far has been pretty much a miss, with the exception of Argo, winning the Oscar and stuff. So I'm not hearing the most wonderful things tracking-wise about the Burt Wonderstone movie. So it's like what Nikki Fink said in her piece, okay, that they're going to probably make an insane amount of money with Man of Steel. So, of course, if they address it, it's up to them. But I don't see them... Like, they run a tight junket systems. I don't see them addressing this and they're probably going to shut it down somehow before the Man of Steel junket comes aboard, or they're going to instruct outlets, no Justice League questions permitted.
Right.
You know, and then maybe afterwards, after an 80 million, 100 million opening weekend, maybe they could be addressed.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: did you hear anything as far? I know that you had mentioned briefly, maybe because of the Goyer Flash script and whatnot. So, how do you think they approach? Let's say that this whole thing it comes to fruition. They do a Justice League movie. You have Bale in it. You have Cavill. Now, what do you do with Wonder Woman? What do you do with Flash? Because you don't have what the Avengers had with that built-in. You know, I mean, they'd be more serving, I guess, like a Hawkeye, maybe Black Widow type.
But that was my question too. Green Lantern.
Right.
Are you going to get Ryan Reynolds back? Is he a 3-picture deal? Is he going to come on to Justice League? Or
Right.
Please no.
And Wilford Brimley as Aquaman.
Aquaman. They have a lot to work out.
Yeah.
Like originally, up until there were 5 characters, they wanted. I mean, even before Avengers or even the Batman. Remember, the Mulrooney's developed a Justice League script a couple of years ago, like I think in 2007. It's been in active development for quite some time. You know, it's something now that it's that this idea could possibly work for them as well.
Right.
It's full steam ahead. Could we see, like, if they're being conservative, could we see like a team-up movie a la World's Finest with just the both of them? Sure. You know, that could happen as well.
Yeah.
You know, and then lead up into the Avengers maybe. But I don't necessarily, because, one person does it, you got to emulate their plan. You see, they like to stand out. Again, think about it. Disney is in the business of building franchises and theme parks. But they're not the studio that wins Oscars like Warner Brothers.
Right.
Okay? And in that town, Oscar is king. You know, so...
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And again, so we have a lot to look forward to with the Justice League for sure. But now I wanted to ask you something. You mentioned Joss Whedon as well, and I wanted to talk to you about this whole Planet Hulk thing now that's going on because Joss Whedon now had said that this that's not the truth, that's not happening. And then so my question was, do you think this is a J.J. Abrams thing where it's like, oh no, he's not going to direct Star Wars, or is this just something maybe there was some misinformation along the way?
It's all warfare is based on deception. And this is a studio. Remember when Loki wasn't the bad guy in
Same
Avengers?
thing with the Skrulls.
Or he wasn't even going to be in Avengers? How did that turn out?
Right.
There's so many things they lied about, and I understand. They got to protect themselves and their slate. I mean, we're talking about a movie that's at the earliest not going to happen for like 3-4 years. Okay,
right? Because you're saying it's going to happen.
So they haven't even made the second Avengers yet. So it's not. I understand it's not fair to them to. It's not fair to them to respond to something further down the line, that has nothing to do with the current plan. It's totally understandable. But the ferocity of which they responded to me, and the way it's been picked up around the world. Not only now, we not only have their respect, but their attention as well. So, okay, cool. So that's suspect to me.
Okay.
Very suspect. Could I be wrong? Could they a plan change down the line? Sure, anything is possible. But this is a company that's had their strategy laid out. Like when they were making Iron Man, they knew what they were going to do in Avengers 4 years later. Mark my words. These guys know what they know what they're doing. But look at Mark Ruffalo today. Okay, Mark Ruffalo. Okay, like again, let me use a marriage reference. If you're going to marry somebody for 6 years, 60 years, whatever, you're going to know the kind of person you're getting. You're gonna spend the rest of your life with. Same thing with business relationships. When you sign something of 6 pictures or so, you're going to hear their ideas and what they have in store for you. It's just, oh yeah, we're just going to dump you in an Avengers movie. Here's some money, 6 pictures, thank you very much. No, it doesn't work like that. And that's why I try to educate fanboys as much as possible on the inner mechanisms of how the agency business works, the studio business works and stuff. So just right now, like a couple hours ago, Mark Ruffalo said, to be clear, that I think, what's the exact tweet he said? It's in the works, but not right now. Sure, that's what I originally said. We're not going to, if we see a Hulk movie, a standalone Hulk movie, it's not going to be till Phase 3. I said that from Jump Street, so let's see what develops and stuff.
Right.
So I got their immediate slate to concentrate on right now, so it's cute. I like the way they responded, it's only not building to my legacy or fame per se. It's just bringing me more traffic, readers, and attention, quite frankly,
right,
and subscribers and stuff. They're doing me a favor. I'm laughing at it all, So.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, but again, and that's the thing, is you're getting the name out. Because another thing, too, by the way, talking about one of your scoops, is the fact that more or less today, Mr. George Lucas pretty much confirmed that, both Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill are going to be in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
like somebody made a comment that he wanted to get retire or whatnot, but he can't somehow step off the stage or stop seeking attention. You know?
Yeah, and he can't.
I got I had information on I didn't know about Fisher. I only knew about the solo part and the Harrison Ford part. Again, remember, he's been the most active of the three for the last 20 years, 30 years. Not while one went off to become a screenwriter, comedian, whatever. The other one went to do voiceover and stuff. But one became an even bigger megastar after that.
Right. So you lock him down first.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, of
course. So it's really difficult when a lot of your readership is young and don't understand how the business side of this thing works. Like I did my time in Los Angeles, and I was integrated within that culture and seeing this, and then having buddies that still do this and stuff, and we have these conversations. But Justice League was really tough.
Oh yeah, dude.
Absolutely
tough. Like I said, the internet blew up when you posted it, my friend. So again, you're kicking ass out there, man. And again, we're very happy that you would join us. When you break your next scoop tomorrow, we'll talk to you on next Thursday.
I'll talk tomorrow. As I was leading into if I was leading into the scoop, everybody counted Warner Brothers and Justice League out, and it's like far from it. These guys just don't cower in fear. They step up to the plate and fight. They'll go bat. Maybe they'll hit a home run. Maybe they'll get on base.
Yeah.
But they're gonna damn well try.
Yeah, I love it. And you're kicking ass out there, man. Thank you so much. And the other thing I wanted to say, when you hear that either Tom Hardy or somebody else is going to be in this movie, the episode 7, please let us know because I need a point on my team. I'm down right now.
When that stuff leaked out, that's a good. Okay, one thing, the positive, you break a scoop. The negative, the ironclad locks that go down afterwards. Everybody disappears. Everybody goes underground. Information's on a need-to-know basis. Emails aren't even exchanged. It's all void. It's like the mob. Communicate like in Goodfellas. Everybody's communicating. They send the assistant to talk to somebody in person, not send an email or make a phone call. It's locked down.
Yeah, you got Christian Bale actually dressed up as Batman trying to find out who the leak is. Where is he?
Well, it's so crazy because a couple of years ago, I don't think that these companies thought that, fanboy films could do this or make this big of a stir with everybody, and every day it's something else. I mean,
well, El Mayimbe is
I got something that you guys are gonna love real quick. Basically, yes, superhero movies have become mainstream popular culture now. That you got major business periodicals that what we call hit horror for traffic. Like a colleague of mine that writes for a business magazine, covers the fanboys. He told me his editors told him to, like when they or a business writer, someone who's not even associated with the film business and or movies or even fanboy entertainment. When you write a business article, could you please try to stick a Superman or a Captain America or a Batman reference in your piece? We could be talking about the sequester for all we know. Look at that. That's the perfect example. They brought the Jedi and the Star Trek reference in it because it not only drives attention but traffic to outlets and even the president. Everybody's now using fanboy culture one way or another to get attention to their cause.
It's a different time, man. It's a different age. So again, you're the man. Please come back and visit us again too, because even we're getting tweets in all over the place here. El Mayimbe needs his own segment on the Schmoes Show, and we would love that. So
I might be going to LA soon, so I'll drop in on you guys.
Wow, dude, anytime you want. So what Josh, you got something? Josh McCouga's got something.
El Mayimbe, big fan. I think we should have like an El Mayimbe chant when he comes on.
I know.
El Mayimbe!
Baba Booey, right? The Baba Booey.
No way, man. You are way better than fucking Ha Ha Fufai. So thank you.
I read your tweets every morning now.
You're the best, dude. So thanks again for joining us, man. We look forward to the next scoop.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. That guy is awesome.
Man.
I love listening to that guy.
Wealth of knowledge.
I felt like I was just listening to the El Mayimbe podcast right there. I was like,
I just don't get it, though. I'm like, okay, everyone gets so angry and everyone goes on lockdown afterwards, but who is leaking the stuff out there?
Somebody, listen.
Like, I feel like
you think
the
it's an assistant
I feel like they actually know what they're doing because look at how everyone's talking about this.
Yeah,
it's building so much hype
That's such a great point.
This movie before it's even out.
It's the same thing like when there's shows, there's reality TV shows that get leaked all the time too. And I think this somewhere's doing somebody's leaking it out to get
Star
more
Wars
press
every
on
day.
it.
Every single day, it's something because people are talking about it.
It's the same shit.
It's a specific
strategy in the World Wrestling Entertainment Company.
Yeah, they leak stuff.
Specific leak strategy.
Now, whether or not, again, sometimes, and then other
here's
people
the thing,
lock it down.
You can't. Is it back when Return of the Jedi was getting made? You could fake it. You could say, "Oh no, this is a different movie we're making," so the press shouldn't pay attention. In 2013, you simply can't do it. What you can do is you don't give it the whole filet mignon. Just give it a little bit of table scraps, so it goes home and it chews on its little bone in the corner. We just chewed on a nice, really juicy bone, but that ain't the steak, kids. The steak is coming, and I'm sure the first person to get a piece is El Mayimbe. That dude, he's been on camera, which is great, because if he's never been on camera, I would be convinced it's like a 10-year-old in his room. He's doing a voice, just lying to it, but he knows his shit.
He knows the scream recorder. He's like, no,
so
hi,
good.
how are you?
And I love that every time he breaks a scoop, we're going to have him on the show.
I was kind of tweeting like he was the most interesting movie scoop getter in the world.
Yeah,
yeah, he is.
This
Right?
dude, he's that guy. I lived in New York for 2 years.
Yeah.
You are from New York.
Yeah.
It's that guy in New York that everybody knows,
and he's got
he
it.
Goes to the club. and
What do
he's
you
like,
need?
"Yo."
What do you need?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's that
that
guy.
dude.
He's that guy.
He's that
I've
guy.
talked to him. I've met him in person, and he's that guy. And he's like, but he's that guy also you meet for like a second, you're like, oh, I want to talk to this dude.
Yeah.
Like, you say hello. Oh, yeah, let's talk. What do you got to say?
He hasn't had a bad haircut in 15 years.
He's great. Well, actually, no, he has, and he's put it on his Twitter. But okay, let's do a couple things here too. So let's. I want Josh. You just gave me an idea though too. How about this then for one of the contests for the Oblivion T-shirts, Schmoville? Here's what you do. Just like the most interesting man in the world, with things that he does. How about you give me one of those for El Mayimbe? So if there's something along the line.
Everybody tweeting why he is the most interesting man in the world. What did he do in his past?
That's
Why
great.
is he?
Yeah.
And the best tweet, the tweet we like the most.
Well,
Josh, sorry you can't participate.
Yeah.
Josh is immediately he's like, I
You
got
are
it.
out of the game.
All right, so we are going to do.
What's the prize? What do they win for the
courtesy of
the most interesting man in the world tweet?
Courtesy of Universal Pictures, you're going to get a T-shirt of Oblivion with Tom Cruise.
Wow.
So
Very nice.
All right, let's do tweet a celebrity real quick too. Let's do that.
Oh yeah.
We live in a world where every random thought counts, and even powerful people have a Twitter account. It's time to tweet a celebrity.
Schmobile.
I like the dance that Tiffany tweets.
Yeah,
Has
I
got
like
going
it
on
too.
over
Now,
here.
if you guys don't know how this works, where you're going to pick out a name out of this hat, which I've just done, and once I read it out, you, Schmobile, will tweet the shit out of this person and let them know they have to come on the Schmoes Know Podcast. Make sure you hashtag it this time with Schmoes Know Podcast.
Hashtag it, make us trend. Schmoes Know Podcast. Let's blow this thing up the wazoo.
What is
it?
Do it.
All right.
Hashtag Star Wars draft.
This actually would be pretty interesting if we got this guy on. All right, this would be interesting, but you're going to have to pity the fool, Mr. T. at Mr. T. Tell him to come on the Schmoes Know Podcast.
I just started following him.
I
so.
actually think he's outside right now. So, all right, so tweet Mr. T.
Hey, woman, come on the Schmoes Know Podcast, fool.
All right, now we're getting some El Mayimbe tweets. He's the most interesting man in the world because he is Chuck Norris's brother. And again, make sure that you guys hashtag Schmoes Know Podcast. All right, we'll be back in a second. We're going to give out some prizes. We're going to talk about the Man of Steel poster we're going to give out. And then Tiffany is going to debut her brand new segment today.
Woo!
Right back in a second.
Yeah.
Now, who can guess this? Riley, you're not listening. You probably get it. So I don't really want you to. Yeah, you'll get it. Don't. If you know it, just shut your mouth.
I know it.
He runs over to the microphone.
I really know.
I know you know it.
Damn it.
No one else knows it.
Is this some music that comes to children when ShoesyPants talks to them in their dreams?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Star Wars, A New Hope.
Wrong. I'm going to stick your head in there. What is it? Oh, you thought that's what you thought it was?
Wait, hold on a minute.
What an a-hole.
Wait a minute.
Ow, 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 ow.
Look at him. He just knocked her out. It's fucking Schmogel knows.
Oh my god.
What is it? Stick your head in there.
Superman.
Yeah, it's Superman. All right. All right, it's Superman. All right, so
I tried to cheat and I still lost.
All right, guys, a lot of stuff to talk about here, real quick. Again, if there's movies now. We're heating up to the summer season soonish. In March, the movies hopefully will be getting better. And you guys, to make sure you check out Movie Pass because we have Movie Pass. If you go to ToadhopNetwork.com, you see the logo on the bottom there for right underneath our video, and it's $30 a month. It's great. You can see 30 movies in the month. It really is worth it. You think about it, it's like. What's that? What's that noise? Oh, okay, never mind. I hear it. So,
is that a cop? Did we just get pulled
Yeah,
over?
we got pulled over. So so check that out. And again, another thing too, we're very excited. As you see, someone's been tweeting, we are drinking our faces off here, and the reason why we're doing that is because of Imperial beer. So great. If you haven't had Imperial Blue, you should have it. It's a ringing endorsement. I love it. It's really good, and I'm going to be doing commercials for it in my bedroom.
Man, your wife has a lot to put up with.
Yeah, she does. It's true.
You're just so creepy.
That's the interesting thing
creepy?
about
That was creepy.
In my bedroom, drinking by myself? It's not
Who
creepy.
does
It's
that?
just sad. It's not creepy.
Tiffany, you should have seen him when he would drink in public.
Yeah,
it was
it's
worse.
a lot worse.
We have him sequestered like Nick Nolte in Warrior.
Yeah.
He just listens to a book on tape and just walks around
I
his
feel like
hotel
there's
room.
a whole side of Christian that I don't know, and I'm
We don't
glad
talk
that I
about
don't know it.
It was Nolte. Hey, we need to get on the phone with
2006. We don't talk about
that. Really hurt. And now we're giving away a couple of prizes away. Nick Nolte, I don't know how he talks like that. I did one sentence and I'm dying.
Your voice sounds great, by the way.
Thank you. All right, so now we are going to have a winner for the Man of Steel poster.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here is.
I don't have a speech ready.
Yeah. This is what
You
now
can't
we
win.
pick. We're picking out a poster, and now we pick out a comment on iTunes, and the winner gets the Man of Steel poster.
This is nerve-wracking.
Now there will be another Man of Steel poster giveaway, but this is the first one. The winner of the first one is Moxie365. Who says
Moxie every day of the year.
I've been listening to the podcast ever since it started. It gets better and better every time I listen. The guests that they bring on are funny and great to listen to. This show proves that radio shows don't have to be the same boring thing. Christian and Mark have brought such energy to the show that I anticipate a show every Thursday. Keep up the good work, Schmoes.
Oh.
Mark, you're so handsome. Thank you for the comment.
That was not in there.
Oh, that was
not in there. You wrote that one, and that did not win. But now we're going to give away another poster. No, not poster. Now we're going to give away the Oblivion T-shirt.
Another thing.
We're going to give away the Oblivion T-shirt, which is really cool. There's a couple of cool ones here, and I think we're going to have to vote on these together, guys. So we have Matt Brown, who's got, and again, this is for the El Mayimbe. You guys can keep tweeting in right now while I'm doing this. What you have to do is the most interesting man in the world, except you're doing it for El Mayimbe. Give us a quote. Why is he the most interesting man in the world? And make sure you can, hashtag Schmoes Know Podcast, include him on the tweet. Here we go. There's one of them. Matt Brown says, I don't always leak stories, but when I do, the earth trembles. Stay informed, my friends.
Not bad.
Pretty good one.
Matt Brown, early clubhouse leader.
Pretty good one. All right, let's see. There's some more. Joey Beans. He wakes up an hour early to wake the roosters up. He's the most interesting man.
That's good, too.
It's a good one.
Joey Beans has never let me down.
Joey Beans has got some quality shit, man. The guy gets into a fight with his wife just to listen to this show every week. You know that? That's what he says. I said, why don't you just see if you can get her on board to listen?
I'll tell you what, if we ever do another live show, that guy's got to write for us.
Beansy? Yeah, I'd love to have Beansy in here. All right, so El Mayimbe this is from JJ Kressel 47. El Mayimbe is the most interesting man in the world because he fills nerd jeans weekly. Okay.
Nerd jeans week.
Jeans or dreams?
Nerd jeans.
I think they meant
like
dreams.
Pants?
I don't know.
I kind of like that.
We're hoping.
What are nerd pants?
Patrick Hogue. El Mayimbe refuses to let people post news about him because then there wouldn't be any other news worth talking about. All right. Let's see. So then we have. I'm waiting.
That one took me a second.
Yeah.
Liking it.
Yeah, we're waiting.
You're so cute when you're thinking.
Yeah, we're waiting for some more.
I was like,
Schmoeville has not been on the creative board of this one, so we're gonna have to. You got one coming in? You got one coming in?
Another Matt Brown.
Oh wait, I got another one here. Joseph JPH29. I don't always take a break from posting news, but when I do, my planet needs me.
I like that.
All right, so I'm gonna say right now. My vote's going with Matt Brown, and I don't always leak stories, but when I do, the earth trembles. Stay informed, my friends.
I think that's the tiebreaker. The stay informed, my friends, is the tiebreaker. Sorry, Joey Beans.
Why don't we let this thing go until like 9:50?
All right, that's fair. That's fair. So all right,
people can have
that's
some
fine.
time to think.
Well, Matt's gonna be screwed here.
But I got to say, Matt had an even better one that when he leaks, El Mayimbe leaks a story that's untrue, the studios actually make it.
That's fine.
That's good.
Matt Brown tweeted that?
That is good.
All right, so
I do wonder. I wonder if stuff has leaked and they're like, shit, he said it. Now we're going to take it.
I know, it's true.
Yeah, I think like Kenny, I think it's like, that's a great idea for a picture.
Tiffany
You got gold picture, kid.
Have you never said
Tiffany
shit on
Smith
the air?
just said the S word.
Has she never said
on
shit
the air.
before in the air? Is that the first time, you dirtbag?
Tiffany, you're grounded.
What's
Go to
really
your room.
weird is how, and ShoesyPants, I'm glad you took a break from sniffing Tiffany's shoes to point that out to the podcast.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
like
I'm really
lilacs.
sorry, Mom and Dad.
Now, we're going to do one more giveaway here because we're in a generous mood here, Mark. What's a poster that we have that we can give away right now and let them know?
We are in the Christmas spirit. You
Yeah,
know,
give us a good poster.
we have a lot of good ones. We have that Pacific Rim one, still
Okay.
burning a hole in my
Let's do
closet.
that
We
one.
got The Hobbit. We still have a Pacific Rim, an upcoming film with
Pacific
robots.
Rim, yeah, we have Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. We're going to give away a poster right now. Here's how you win. So go ahead. We just put live on our YouTube channel our review of Dead Man Down.
Yes, we did. I just made it live.
So go there right now, put a comment on there about the movie, and say, also was listening to the podcast and whatever you liked about the show today. Post that on the review, and then we will let you guys know on Facebook after the show who won the Pacific Rim. So there you go. Whole bunch of gifts today. Really excited about that. We're going to take a whole bunch of tweets about Mayimbe, but now we are super excited to debut the brand new segment on the show. It's Tiffany's tweets. Tiffany
Do you even
Smith.
know my name? Do you even know my name?
I was doing your Twitter handle. Tiffany tweets.
Start again.
What?
Give her a big, rosy intro.
All right,
That's
now.
gonna make me nervous.
Yeah. That's why I like the big intro. Never before done on a podcast.
Oh, God.
And now, starting a new segment on the Schmoes Know Podcast. Straight into geek hearts all over the world and their underpants. Tiffany Smith.
Yeah, had to go there. It was so... Yay! So, yeah, I'm really excited about starting this segment, guys. It's called Stacked, and for anybody who follows me on Twitter or G4 or whatever, I love comic books, and I was lucky enough to get to do some stuff with Blair Butler on Fresh Ink, which was absolutely incredible. So this week, we're starting out 3 picks, my favorites of the week, and today I'm going to do a little one in here for you guys. So this one didn't come out this week, but with all the talk of the Justice League, I wanted to bring out one of my favorites, an oldie but a goodie. It's called The New Frontier. Can you guys see that? What? It is one of my absolute favorites. It's from Darwin Cook, and Dave Stewart does the artwork, and it's beautiful. The artwork itself is so retro looking that you want to put this on your coffee table because it'll make you feel like a badass. So it starts at the end of World War I and goes into the Cold War. And what I love about this series was that it really puts history and war up against the story of comic books. You know, it ends at the golden age of comics, and you're seeing the superheroes of the past, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, kind of going away, and this new age of crime fighters coming out, you know, with Hal Jordan and Green Lantern. And it's just absolutely great to read. The artwork, like I said, is fantastic. And if you guys want like a little cheat version, there's a movie of it as well, which is really, really good. And this series kind of does the similar thing as The Watchmen. So if you like The Watchmen, this is a series that I think you'll really like. I mean, you've got Eisenhower next to Superman, Nixon next to Wonder Woman, which is so interesting when you're reading it. So this is my pick to pick up for the Justice League for this week. And I talk about another 2 this week. I picked up Powers Bureau issue number 2, which is Bendis. Incredible. Pick that one up. And I go a little bit more in depth on Stacked, which Ken came over to my place today, which is not as creepy as it sounds. Yeah.
And I can confirm that Bobby Finstock was in the bushes outside.
He was not. Well, and the other issue that we'll talk about this week is Bedlam number 5, which I know I come off sweet and innocent, but this is one of the grittier, darker, violent, beautiful comic books. So get excited.
Now, where do you buy your comic books?
I actually go to 2 shops, secret headquarters on Sunset.
Okay.
And then I just started going to Blast Off in NoHo, which is a great, great shop. Mark Waid has a collection there as well, which is another one of my favorite writers. So check out either of those
you're
places.
not a Meltdown
Blast
fan.
Off, which is coincidentally what a lot of boys just did when they heard Tiffany talk so eloquently about comic books. That was incredible.
That was really good.
Christian,
He just had to go there.
Christian, we just got a tweet from Mayimbe.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, he said that Toadhop is going to replace the Schmoes Know Show with Tiffany Stacked for 2 hours. So, you want to go get something to eat? We got nothing else.
I know. Listen, that was awesome. A lot of fun. And now another more news, too, is that you can find Tiffany on Schmo Plus pretty soon. And she's going to be doing this segment more in detail.
It's actually going to be tomorrow morning. You can find Stacked on Schmo Plus, our sister channel, and on the Schmoes Know website. Check out Stacked, and with Tiffany and Ken Napzok. Now, do you have different guest stars in each one?
No, he's just filming. See, here's the thing. You're going to get to know my comic picks, but also we're shooting it in my apartment. So
and Kenny was on the front. You were on the inside.
I was on the inside.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, what are we looking at? What kind of are we looking at? A super geeky apartment?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Is it dirty? Is there toothpaste everywhere?
You kind of walk in, you turn around, walk out, and go, escape that bullet.
What is it? Is it very like? Does R2D2 greet you when you walk in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a life-size Iron Man. Like it's automated.
What's it really like?
It's a spectacularly well-designed apartment. She even cooked me some dinner. She's a great lady.
Really?
She's a great host.
And by cooked, he means I'm doing this food thing called My Fit Foods, and so they give me meals, and I just stick them in the microwave for 2 minutes.
In my world, that is a well-cooked meal.
Okay, well then
But it was a healthy meal.
I have a follow-up question for Kenny then. So Kenny, you had your My Fit meal. Then immediately after you left, what restaurant did you go to?
There's a Del Taco on Hollywood Way.
Nice, I love it.
No.
Well, good. I mean, it's a fantastic segment. Really happy with it. The fans seem to really like it as well. So make sure you guys subscribe to Schmo Plus. So
Friday's a busy day on Schmo Plus and the blog.
Yeah,
you got stacked.
Oh, can I also add too? She also has a actual comic book shop in her apartment.
What?
By the way,
what do you mean?
Well, so
it's a little cute, like a Billy Barty type working back there.
So
you're
Secret
also
Headquarters.
You're getting a lot of proposals now too.
Secret Headquarters is a great shop, and when I started going there, they had custom comic shelves, and they were getting new ones in. So I was like, "Can I buy some of those and keep my comics on them in my apartment?" And so that was like one of my first big kid apartment purchases that I ever made.
Wow.
Custom comic shelves.
Love it.
Yeah. Now there is a lot of activity going on the not only Schmo Plus but also the website. Josh, you were going to make that point.
Oh, I do my boob blog every
which
Friday.
is super
Which
funny
I
and
did
all
not
that.
know about, and Ken told me, and I was like, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know about
really
that stuff.
good. Listen, it's really good. Listen. It's not like super dirty. It really isn't dirty. It's literally him just
My boob blog.
But it's bringing out moments in film that there was nudity in.
Yeah,
this is kind of. I said I'll finish editing Stack tonight. I said I just also have to post Makuga's boob blog, and she actually dropped food. I heard a fork hit the ground. The what blog?
But I also want to make
boob blog.
I want to make the point that Makuga's boob blog and Stacked are two different things.
Yes,
they're not the same thing. It's
fine.
And I'm a huge comic book fan. I remember where I was when I found out Shadowhawk was black. I have a question about the front. It looks like Aquaman is flying. Now, Aquaman, God love him for trying.
Well,
unless he's got a trampoline
they
handy.
just want to give you the vibe of the whole series, so you get a little bit
and
of
then
everyone.
you flip it on. Like I've heard of everybody on the front. They're
Don't
great
talk
superheroes.
smack about this.
I'm
It's
asking you a question.
beautiful.
But then you turn it around and it looks like the Jetsons. Now, who are those people attacking the heroes I know and love?
Well, they're just some regular peeps because I told you they go along with the soldiers of the stuff from the World War and. You know, some spaceships.
Well, Tiffany, let me ask you a question because you know comics pretty well. So, why The Last Man?
Yes.
Yeah, which is
one of the best series.
So great. Do you have any news on what? I know you're not Mayimbe here, but do you know like anything as far as like? Is there any new news with that coming out?
The last thing I really heard about that was that Shia LaBeouf was asked, and he said no. That was a really long time ago. But honestly, I didn't think that was a bad choice for that. I really don't. I mean. For that series, he's awkward and dorky, and you're kind of like, why would this guy?
Why the last man?
The lead, the one last man.
Dude, I'm gonna let you. You'll love it. It's great. It's really good.
It's one of those series that I think actually brings people into comics.
You know what's kind of funny about this whole situation is that
I feel like a kid who's missed school for a week and I have no idea what language they're speaking.
Well,
it's really
and that's
good,
something
dude. You love it too.
like. If people have suggestions or questions, send them in. I know for me, being a girl reading comics, going into a shop and being able to talk to people and ask questions when I was first getting into them was a big deal, you know. So
that's the thing we'll do.
It was a big deal to them. Trust me.
It's like
it was a big
Kevin
deal to them.
Arnold in Wonder Years when he would go on a date and be like,
but it's funny because it's not. No, but the funny thing is that it's not awkwardness. It's a lot of times it's rude.
Well, we got Factory
like,
Factors
that
with
people
some
are
news.
rude to girls. It's not like I'm so awkward,
they look
girl.
down upon
it's like
you.
They're intimidated.
What do you really know?
Well,
what do you really know?
Mark Riley has some news on Why the Last Man.
Facty
McFacterson. In January of this year, did you know the Portal fan film? Dan Trachtenberg made this Portal fan film that went viral. He's been hired to direct Why the Last Man. That's where it is right now in development. DJ Caruso is no longer attached.
All right, Facty McFacterson coming in dropping bombs.
Fact, man.
All right, so we're going to take some phone calls from Schmoville, 323-622-8623. Get a couple calls here about some of the stuff that we talked about tonight on tonight's podcast. But we also want to have a few of these tweets of not Why the Last Man, of El Mayimbe, most interesting man. Here's a couple. We got Beans again. He will bring Greedo back to life so he can shoot first. I don't always drink blue milk, but when I do, I drink XX Solo. It's pretty good one. Okay, let's see. Leanne says his scoops are bigger than construction equipment. That's good.
Nice.
I like it. We have some really good. We have some good ones. I saw one. Spencer. There's no way I'm getting his name right. McClotier. He doesn't always break headlines, but when he does, he takes America by the balls. J.J. Kressel. He doesn't always leak a story. When he doesn't, we have nothing to talk about.
Funny.
At Canadian Pat, he has a time machine to get the latest news, but only releases a few stories to prevent a disastrous time paradox.
Look, these are all good.
I want to read one.
I just haven't had a Matt Brown one.
This one I like a lot. At Brennan MD. After seeing El Mayimbe swim a lap, Michael Phelps belly flops and drowns.
Good.
It's a pretty good one.
Good.
Okay, we got a whole bunch. Okay, so we have Joe Kressel. Some men just want to watch the geek world burn. So we got a whole bunch of them. Let's go to Schmoeville here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, that was fun listening to you guys. This is Drake from Vegas.
What's up,
Hey,
Drake?
Drake.
What do you got, man?
Hey, first I gotta say, no, two things. Love your T-shirt, your Lion-O Simba shirt. I wish I had that. Awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
And just, man, I feel so bad for you dealing with creepy pants over there. Constantly touching the whole episode.
Creepy pants. Creepy pants. His name's actually Shoesy Pants.
Yeah, that's all right. Leanne.
We decided to call him creepy because of the creepy things he was doing.
I've tried to not pay attention and then look at him as a little brother, and I'm like, stop touching me, stop touching me, stop touching me, stop touching me.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Leanne is now doing a version of a poster of creepy pants. Okay, so
You can't
Thank
accidentally
you,
hang up
thank
on
you
that
for
guy.
your
Come on.
concern, Drake. I really appreciate it.
So I just wanted to bring up.
Are you still here?
I really hope they go with the Batman bring in the Batman from Dark Knight, because it'd be really cool if we have the Batman, Superman. They can't have a team up obviously in time, but like they had like a lot of groupings up together in early comics before the Justice League, and then they showed up and then brought in a bunch of everybody else. I think that should be really cool to be like, these are two big titles. Now we have the Justice League with like a bunch of the other guys with the two big figureheads. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you totally, man. It's you need them though, regardless of what you think of it. If it works for the Nolan, if you think that it does or does not work for the Nolan tone, it is what fans are relating to. It's what they're used to. It's Bale as Batman. He's your Batman. You got to put him in the damn movie.
I don't think it's 100% got to have him, but I think it'd be really cool if you did.
If you're a
Thanks for the
comic
call, man.
fan too, you know that every series goes in different directions along the way, and pairing people together, it works in comics. So why wouldn't it work in a movie?
Right.
You know, having different vibes for different characters.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Aaron Dorado from Mesa, Arizona.
What's up, dude? What do you got for us?
Hey, I just want to say first, I'm a really big fan, first-time caller, and I just want to talk more about the whole Christopher Nolan Dark Knight thing. I think El Mayimbe had a point when he said that DC really had to step up to the plate when this whole Star Wars news broke. And I mean, I can only imagine that they were just like shitting their pants when they heard JJ was directing. And for me, I really hope that that Christian Bale does foresee is in the Batman movie. But I kind of agree with what you said, Christian, about the whole tone with Christopher Nolan's films not mixing in with Justice League. But I kind of want to see where they would go with it.
I'm with you. I actually no. I just saw that point. I am actually. I want to see him. I think that there are a lot of people who don't want to see that. I believe that they should. I think the tone will work for both of them. So.
Yeah, completely.
Thank you so much for your call, man. I really appreciate it, and thanks for the nice words.
I think it's going to work either way, because it's exciting. And El Mayimbe brings up the point that as a fan, you don't always understand the studio system. Like, as a fan, it's just raining comic book movies. And we're like, look at all this cool shit.
Yeah.
When I got a He-Man toy for Christmas, I didn't turn it over to see what company made it. I was like, I got Man-at-Arms. I'm playing with House Money at this point.
Yeah,
But it is interesting to think about how he's saying that different companies look at it as Oscar or just like a fun movie. Because, I mean, even Robert Downey Jr., when they went to the Avengers premiere, was talking about how, like, they're not getting nominated for stuff. Yeah, it's a fan movie and it's making a lot of money, but it's not the same as getting nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, which Batman started to get talk.
Almost, there was talk of it too. I mean, that just shows you what Nolan's able to do. But again, the Academy's got a hard on against him.
Heath Ledger won it.
Yeah, it's true. All right, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Alan from Georgia. How's it going, guys?
Well, Alan, what's going on, man?
You sound pretty chilled out.
I was thinking, what if they do, like Bruce Wayne, do the grandfather of the DC universe, like Samuel L. Jackson, you know, kind of bring the superheroes together, you know?
So you're saying
loving it?
Yeah, that's a good. You mean so like old school Batman, like they talked, like they rumored about in the like back in the day when like Clint Eastwood at one point was supposed to play him. Like, you mean like he's just been out of the game for a long time and then he comes back? Is that what you're saying?
He's like the godfather of the group.
He's the
one who
figurehead.
brings
He's the
everyone
organizer.
together. So
He's
there
the
could
one
potentially be a new Batman.
What if he's
that
the
he
coach?
oversees?
Like if Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character was going to become the new Batman or whatever he was going to become,
Yeah.
if Christian Bale was kind of like Phil Jackson, he's like on the
Yeah.
sideline, just
Yeah.
watching this team play.
You know,
Great. That's it. Let's make that
It's a great
movie.
call. Thank you so much. You know
Done.
the thing I wanted to address.
Go
I'm glad-
picture.
Get Emily
Go
Hagins on
picture.
the phone.
I'm glad that he brought up the Joseph Gordon-Levitt thing though too, because here's my thing with that. I think the guy's a phenomenal actor, and I actually, when the news first came out about him being as Batman, I was excited for it. But now that I'm thinking about it, he's not proven yet as Batman.
Not to mention
No,
the fact that
they
I'm
actually
thinking
called
of
him Robin.
Well,
Yeah.
him
Shoesy.
next
Shoesy.
to Henry Cavill, I feel like is not. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
My solution to that, make him a Nightwing type character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
transition him over to Nightwing. Bruce comes back.
It takes.
and-
But
Josh the intern's saying no.
But it's just that's just,
his opinion doesn't matter.
I know, but it's just going to
Nightwing.
take. That's just going to take too long. That's the problem. It's just going to take too long.
No,
to
but
set
he
that all
could
up.
be Nightwing in the Justice League.
Yeah, but
movie.
again, I don't know anything about that. I'm a fan and I'm watching. And I'm like, okay, but now I got to learn more
Yeah,
about it. It's like
yeah.
I know fucking Batman. It's.
Do you guys think Darrell Revis is going to stay with the Jets?
Look at the interns fighting.
You
What do
can't have Justice League without Batman. I don't want Nightwing. I want Batman.
All right.
It's Justice League.
I'm not saying instead of Batman. I'm saying
All right.
Bale is Batman.
You two fight to the death.
He goes to Nightwing.
Well, and it's also that we don't even know
Why
if
do you
it's
keep
going to
letting
be.
this guy show up?
I know.
I mean, we don't know when
Shut
it's
his
going to be
mic
in the
off.
sequence of things. It could be
Yeah.
before the during all the Batman films going on. It doesn't have to be after The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
We don't
This
know
is
what's
why
going to happen.
it's a long way off, and it's very exciting. And I have the same feeling I do with Star Wars, not to that degree, but I'm very excited to be in a movie theater in a couple years and
Yeah.
see the first teaser trailer for the Justice League,
Yeah.
It'll
and
be
then
fun.
boo when they cast Danny DeVito as Batman.
let's say a couple more calls here from Schmoeville, and then we'll get out of here. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Matt Brown.
Matt Brown. It looks like you, my friend, are going to be.
I think he's got Matt. You are calling to claim your prize,
Yeah,
and you earned it, my friend.
Matt, you won the Oblivion poster. Congratulations, my friend.
It's a T-shirt. No, the Pacific Rim poster.
No. He gets the Oblivion T-shirt. The Pacific Rim poster's
it's
for
Went to somebody else.
The Dead Man
commenter.
Tab.
Hey, Matt, Imperial Ale is delicious. You should really have it.
How are
Got
you?
something right.
So, Matt, what do you got for us?
Well, first of all, you guys are crazy over there tonight. I don't even know why. But, all right. The thing is, I was, thinking about everyone's talking about getting in a Joseph Gordon-Levitt or a Christian Bale, and the biggest problem people have is the tone.
Yeah.
Getting that tone right. And I feel like they've already proven with Batman and Justice
Exactly.
League that you can make them merge, because there was the Batman animated series in the 90s,
Yeah.
and then a Justice League series where they had that same Batman in.
Yeah.
And they were able to merge him seamlessly without having to compromise on a lighter tone by keeping the character still a dark character.
Yes, and the funny thing is too, when you say that, it's like the same people that are writing, there's a few people that we know that are against it, and it's like that's the same person I heard like a couple months ago. Trust in Nolan we trust. Well, then why aren't you trusting him now? It's like if that's the case.
Well, because maybe not everybody loved The Dark Knight Rises. I'm not saying personally, but maybe they don't trust Nolan as much as they did after The Dark Knight.
That's not there. But that wasn't their grievance. Their grievance was the fact that they don't think that the tones meshed.
Well, and it's like you even look at the Avengers, and the characters have different vibes.
Yeah.
Not everyone is like happy-go-lucky and light and perfect like Superman is.
It really depends. I mean, it's all crucial on Man of Steel. That's the bottom line. Matt, thanks for the call, dude. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Congrats on the T-shirt. We'll send it out to you.
No pressure, Man of Steel. Just
Seriously,
just be great. Just
don't like. I'm thinking about how Henry Cavill probably feels right now. Like there's so much excitement and probably terror at the same time.
Of course. Well, now he's all done shooting, so he doesn't have to worry.
Can we get El Mayimbe on the phone? Well, I need a scoop. How do you pronounce that young British man's name?
Cavill.
I thought it was always Cavill.
I did too.
I thought
but
it was Cavill.
I heard him on his report. It's Cavill.
He said
Cavill.
It's Cavill. Yeah.
Cavill.
Maybe with a British accent.
Makuga's drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I
So
don't know.
Let's
Something like that.
He better be super because the Brits
Henry
aren't allowed to
Cavill.
carry weapons.
Okay, one more call.
Well,
Okay, well,
Do you want me talking in British accent for the rest of the podcast?
Let's take another call from Schmoeville.
You two, pipe down. Mama's home.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hello, this is Patrick Hogue.
Who's this? I never heard of this guy before.
I love how you say your name
Pat?
the same every time.
I figured I'd spice things up a bit, and I would actually disagree with having Christian Bale as Batman in Justice League.
Okay, you have the floor. Convince me why Christian Bale should not be in the movie.
All right. Now everyone's talking about tone. And I think as we're seeing with like Man of Steel, I don't think the tone is the problem. I think, the Nolan tone works perfectly. It meshes well. I think the fact that if you have Christian Bale as Batman in the Justice League movie, the whole point of the Dark Knight movies was that it was so grounded in reality. It was a place that you could believe was real. It was a place that it seemed like it was a real place. And when you start adding stuff like aliens, Aquaman, I feel like that negates the three movies that came before. And I don't think the tone's the problem. I just think the fact that what has come before has been too real for a character from that setting to go into this otherworldly setting such as the Justice League.
I'll back up, Patrick, because it's like one thing to have a Batman, because you believe, hey, you're a really rich kid, you can make all these weapons.
A flying fish.
A fish.
Yeah, but
it can talk to other fish.
But again, essentially, what Patrick, that is tone.
Yeah.
I mean, that is tone. But the thing,
it's a lot harder to make a fish. A guy that talks
I
to
agree
fish
with
real.
all that again, but it is tone, and it's just a matter again,
who watched Smallville?
Yeah, that was. But
I had basketball
it's one of my
practice.
favorites. But it's like you get all those characters in, even if they're a little bit different tone, and you can be darker in moments.
Yeah, I just again with and I'm going back to what they say. It's Man of Steel. It all depends on how. Patrick, I got to let you go though too. I'll talk to you next week for sure. No, I want to get into this. We'll definitely get into it again. But guys, next week, big show. I want to have Tiffany talk about it real quick. We have Jenna Bush coming in next week. Jenna, tell us a little bit about Jenna.
So Jenna is a geek girl as well. Pretty freaking awesome. She writes for Fanhattan.
Not the president's daughter?
No,
it's not George W's kid.
We got to wrap. We got to wrap. All right, so make sure next week check out Jenna Bush will be here. It's going to be a big show. And again, thanks for Mayimbe. Thanks for all our directors we had calling South by Southwest.
Good luck at South by Southwest. Christian, let's get all those Twitter handles in real quick.
Yeah, at Tiffany's Tweets, at ShoesyPants, at Schmoes Intern, at Riley Around, at Josh McCouga, at Cospan, at Schmoes Know. Rate us on iTunes,
Tiffany's
comment on
tweets.
iTunes, and make sure again if you want to win that Pacific Rim poster.
Tiffany's tweets.
Shush! If you want to win the Pacific Rim poster, go and comment on our Dead Man Down review. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Tiffany, you're fired.